Panthers have won the toss, elected to receive. Joe Nedney will kick off. Mike Goodson, the rookie running back, is deep for Carolina. Nedney kicks it off, and we're underway. Goodson from the 6, bobbles it, drops it. He's got it back, and he's got a lane. And he gets a good return to the 33-yard line. So you bobble the ball a little bit, it kind of alters the coverage.
Alters the timing is what it does, right. And it opened that lane for him.
3-4 defense. O'Brien Franklin, the stout man in the middle. Justin Smith, 146th consecutive start. 4 linebackers. The key men in the middle are Willis and Takeo Spikes. Taylor Mays is now starting at strong safety. Nate Clements was bothered by an ankle injury. We'll see if it affects him. From the 34. Get us in motion. D'Angelo Williams. Maybe a yard. 49ers run defense has been good this season.
Oh, it's been very good this season, and Justin Smith's a big part of it. They are coming off their best effort defensively. Here's Justin. There's no way you can block him with inside leverage and expect him not to make that play. You got no chance if you're Jordan Gross. He lines up in an inside shade, which means he's shaded to the inside of the offensive tackle. He blew up the B gap, and there's no chance schematically for where he was lined up with that run for Jordan Gross to be able to block him. 3 tight ends in for Carolina. It's D'Angelo Williams again. Decides to take it outside. Gets by Shawntae Spencer. A good run for a first down. Out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Chased out by Patrick Willis. Nice move by D'Angelo Williams. Yeah, well, let's watch Justin again as he hits his guy here. Travell Wharton. Now watch him peek back inside. You peek back inside, D'Angelo Williams is going to read it and then bounce it to the edge. That's what everybody wants to do against San Francisco. Start it up in the middle, bounce it to the perimeter. It's where teams have had their most success.
Shawntae Spencer missed a tackle. The ball to 45. First down Panthers. 2 tight ends. Stephen Smith motions the play fake. Matt Moore to put it up. Pressured. Nobody opened. And he turns it into a couple of yard gain as he slides to the 48-yard line. Manny Lawson putting on pressure. That's Steve Smith. And if I apologize if I said Steven, he prefers Steve.
Oh, yeah, he's not letting you get away with that one.
That's right.
Again. He is salty now. Talking to Stevie Smith the other day and just kind of getting into his head with this team. And all he kept talking about was non-competitive and how it irritates him. Should give him a big spark today. 2 tight ends, 2 backs, bouncing it outside. Jonathan Stewart gets a yard on the play. Justin Smith. That 146-game consecutive streak for Justin Smith, incredible.
The longest active streak of any defensive lineman in the NFL.
Yeah, super, super durable, obviously, with the 146. Look how small those shoulder pads are. And you look at a lot of guys, defensive linemen in particular in the NFL, those shoulder pads are probably made for a quarterback. What does it do, Sam? Less blocking surface for the offensive linemen to get their hands on. Reduce the target.
3 wide receivers in on 3rd and 6. Steve Smith motions. And Matt Moore steps back, calls time. So the Panthers facing a 3rd and 6, want to talk it over.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Panthers during the bye week. Head coach John Fox looked at his quarterback situation, decided Jimmy Clausen should come out after 3 games where he was erratic with his passing. Put in Matt Moore because Matt Moore had success at the end of last season, winning 4 of the last 5. And he is 6-4 career-wise as a starter in the NFL. Here's 3rd and 6. Everybody out. Moore with time. Throwing for Smith too high. It was covered by Nate Clements. So the Panthers will have to punt.
And not a lot of rhythm in this passing game. Watch Clements right here. He's going to redirect Steve Smith, get a hand on him, and he knows right away. There goes a little out route to the flat. And Nate has had a bad wheel coming into this game, and they talked about him possibly, not going today being a game-time decision.
He missed a lot of practice during the week with the ankle sprain. Jason Baker takes the snap and punts it away. Ted Ginn at the 15. Swings it back. Picks up a couple of blocks. Slipped the tackle. And here he goes. Baker angled him out of bounds up near the 30-yard line. They mark it at the 26. Good return. 11 yards on the return by Ted Ginn. 49ers on offense when we come back.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Hey, Sam, some things thematically that we need to keep our eyes on early on here. Steve Smith's involvement. What'd Steve say the other day? Get me the ball if you want to win, especially early in games. The 49ers offensive variety, I think that's going to change. We saw more of it last week from Mike Johnson. And then Matt Moore's accuracy, because, as you know, Carolina, the quarterback play has been atrocious. It's got to get better.
Alex Smith, the quarterback for the 49ers. Josh Morgan motions, and Smith wants to put it up. Rolling and throwing it away as Vernon Davis was well covered on the play by Charles Godfrey. Take a look at the 49ers. We mentioned Alex Smith, the quarterback. Frank Gore, the key running back, 4th in the NFC, 8th in the NFL in rushing. He leads the team in rushing and in receptions. Michael Crabtree, dangerous receiver. The two rookie linemen, they are key. Joe Staley, the veteran, has played well. Ted Ginn is in as a 3rd wide receiver for the 49ers. Hand off to Frank Gore. There's a nice hole for him. And Gore carries to the 46-yard line, a 20-yard run.
Sam, exactly what I talked about. There is a passing set, 3 wide receivers, spread it out and run the football. Here's Gore. Look, 1, 2, 3 wides. Now you got space. You got 6 guys in the box, 6 defenders. You got 6 blockers. You got a free runner and Frank Gore. Get some nice blocks up inside. David Boss with a really nice block. Love it already from Mike Johnson. They ran out of the throwing set. They passed out of the running set.
Only the 3rd 20-yard run of the season for the 49ers. Play fake. Smith rolls, waiting, wants to go deep. And he's got Vernon Davis. Davis goes to the 1-yard line. Charles Godfrey with a tackle preventing Davis from taking it in. 53-yard pass play.
Watch here and then right up the seam. Watch Vernon. And they're showing that bootleg action, which everybody is usually going to go with the quarterback, parallel to the quarterback. Alex stops. Vernon turns it right up the field, down the seams. Huge play.
Longest pass play of the season for the 49ers, 53 yards.
Clever. I love that. I mean, they showed boot action. Here we go, bootleg. Here comes everybody going with the flow of the quarterback. Vernon got vertical. Defense wasn't ready for it.
Oh, Vernon Davis, dangerous receiver. Play fake. Smith rolls, throws, touchdown. Vernon Davis. And he scored touchdowns in 4 consecutive games. What a drive by the 49ers. That's as good as it gets.
Yeah, too easy for them. Now, I caution everybody. They've come out in games now and have lit it up on the first drive. They've been able to drive down and punch points into the end zone. Vernon here, just man coverage, free release. Nobody gets on him at all. And Richard Marshall immediately from the snap was in a major trail position.
I liked Alex Smith's play fakes.
I like the play calling. I mean, they jumped in running sets and threw it. They jumped in passing sets and ran it very effectively.
Joe Nedney with Andy Lee, the holder. And the 49ers, 72 yards in 4 plays. Frank Gore, a big run. The big pass to Vernon Davis, and the 1-yard touchdown pass to Davis.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by the new Ford Fiesta. It's a pretty big deal. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Pizza Hut. Your favorite plays deserve your favorite pizza. Your favorites, your Pizza Hut.
Back in Charlotte, Richard Marshall went inside. Yeah. Vernon Davis went outside.
Well, there was confusion because Sherrod Martin, you see him coming over here. Vernon's going to go out, and it was almost as if Richard Marshall thought Sherrod Martin had him. Sherrod was clearly coming on a blitz, so there was no doubt about it, a communication error between the 2 defensive backs on who had Vernon.
Nedney's second kickoff of the game. Mike Goodson comes up to take it at the 10. Finds another lane. Boy, he's going to break one soon. You can see the way he's been returning. Another good return. Gives the Panthers the ball at the 35-yard line. Well, Wednesday, the premier event of Major League Baseball, the World Series, begins on Fox. 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific in San Francisco. The Giants, who beat the Phillies in 6. The Rangers, who beat the Yankees in 6. In the World Series, Joe Buck and Tim McCarver have the call. Wednesday and Thursday in San Francisco, Saturday, Sunday at Texas, Game 5 in Texas if necessary, and of course 6 and 7 if necessary. Swing it out to D'Angelo Williams, and he gets a couple of yards up to the 37-yard line. Let's see what the Atlanta Falcons are doing today, and for that, we go to Kurt Menefee.
And the Falcons, like the Niners, score an early touchdown. Opening possession, Brian Finneran with a little 3-yard reception from Matt Ryan. And in Atlanta, in the Georgia Dome, leads the Bengals 7-0 midway through the first. 7-10.
Thank you, Kurt. Atlanta tied with New Orleans for first place, though they have the tiebreaker, having beaten New Orleans this season. D'Angelo Williams tried to take it outside, finds a little bit of a crease and gets up to the 41-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and 4. Deshaun Goldson, the free safety, with a stop on D'Angelo Williams.
Sam, let's talk about their run game, and in particular the right side of the offensive line for the Carolina Panthers. I mean, when you looked at them last year, they were a dominant rush offense. They've certainly taken steps backwards and become below average, and a big part of it is not having Jeff Otah out there at right tackle. So Gary Williams out there getting the start today. Jeff Schwartz has been moved in to play right guard for Mackenzie Bernardo.
Brandon LaFell in as a 3rd wide receiver. Moore throws and completes it to Steve Smith. First down for the Panthers at the 47-yard line. Quick return from a high ankle sprain by Steve Smith. He was injured 3 weeks ago and came back. The bye week certainly came at the right time, but you see the Panthers offense down at the bottom of the NFL. Points per game, passing yards, completion percentage. They need him in the lineup. He is a threat.
And he should definitely get a couple of pops to him. He should no doubt help the rush offense.
2 tight ends in, Dante Rosario the second. Moore off the play fake, that's through the hands, off the hands of Steve Smith and incomplete. He was open, and that was a well-thrown ball.
Very well-thrown ball. Matt Moore said he didn't have any rhythm to start the season. He said that's what he looked at in the off week. Really got into his footwork and the release, and this is perfect rhythm here as you're going to run a deep dig route, which right in front of the the DBs and behind the linebackers. That ball's got to be caught by Steve. Terrific throw.
2nd and 10 for the Panthers. Tony Fiametta in at fullback. There's Steve Smith. Off the fake, the draw play to D'Angelo Williams. Good run down to the 39-yard line. Picked up 8 on the play. Patrick Willis making the tackle. Patrick Willis not making as many tackles lately because they're really trying to block him.
Look at what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys in the box. He is not in the box. You got 7 guys in the box. You got 6 blockers with the tight end, and then you had the fullback there, 7 blockers, which means you got nobody for the running back. They own the box count there, and they get a nice positive gain for about 8 yards.
Jonathan Stewart back in on 3rd and 2. The play fake. Moore throws, completes it for a first down to David Geddes, the rookie out of Baylor. Patrick Willis the tackle, but the Panthers moving the ball well on this second possession. A lot of pressure on these youngsters, but Geddes, who came in as a 6th-round draft pick,
and there's some speed out on the West Coast.
Played well.
Look at that.
Yeah.
3-time California high school 400-meter champ. That dude can run.
Jeff King, Dante Rosario, 2 tight ends in. Jonathan Stewart gets outside, fights off the tackle. Good job by Nate Clements. Got the ankles and wouldn't let go. Couple of yards on the pickup down to the 28-yard line.
You can tell what Carolina wants to do, and it's what everybody wants to do against San Francisco is try to hit it up inside and then bounce to the perimeter. And they are so good at nose tackle with Abrea Franklin and those 2 stud linebackers behind him with Patrick Willis and Takeo Spikes. So To me, if you're San Francisco defensively, and Minuski talked about it yesterday with us, the defensive coordinator, they got to set the edges with those outside linebackers, Manny Lawson and Paris Harrelson, and funnel it back to the help.
Off the play fake, Moore being rushed. Screen pass was tipped, and it's incomplete. Ahmad Brooks with pressure inside on the quarterback. That pass was tipped coming out of the hands of the quarterback, Matt Moore. That broke up the potential success of the screen pass.
Yeah, the 49ers were all over it. They read that one bigger than Dallas. I think back to the bye week, talking about this team, Carolina, I think one thing they really wanted to work on was getting themselves in the third manageables.
Yeah.
Sammy, at 3rd and 8, over 50% of their third down situations this year have been 3rd and 8 or more.
And here is 3rd and 8 with 3 wide receivers in. They hand it to D'Angelo Williams, and he's dropped for a loss. That's Justin Smith. And you hear the fan reaction on a 3rd and 8. They ran the ball with D'Angelo Williams and took a yard loss. So now the field goal kicking unit comes out. John Casey, Jason Baker the holder, and J.J. Jansen out of Notre Dame is the long snapper.
Look at that. 61 possessions. 45 of them have ended either with a punt or a giveaway. 75% of the drives.
This one is a 47-yard attempt. Casey is 5 for 6 this season. He's hit a couple of 50-yarders. This one is right through. John Casey, 40 years old, still has a strong leg. Panthers on the board. 49ers leading 7-3.
Hey, Sam, you look there, the first 10 plays for Carolina, 6 rush, 4 pass, and typically the offense is looking, okay, are we balanced? Are we doing this? What are we doing? What are our tendencies? These two cats on defense, Takeo Spikes and Patrick Willis, their football intelligence is outstanding, and they're always looking to improve it during the game. They said after 10 plays, they start going to Namaro Bowman, these backups going, what was the personnel grouping? What formation were they in? What are they doing to us?
Reese Lloyd, the kickoff specialist, puts it all the way to the end line. In the end zone, it's a touchback. 49ers come back on the field. They lead it 7-3. Opening possession for the 49ers. Frank Gore ripped off a 20-yard run. That was followed by a 53-yard pass from Alex Smith to Vernon Davis. Davis pulled down at the 1-yard line, and then a play fake and a 1-yard touchdown pass to Vernon Davis.
Yeah, the good teams in this league are the explosive teams, and that was a good example of it there for San Francisco. They know they've got the horses. They know they're explosive. You just haven't been able to execute it, Sam, consistently.
2 tight ends in. Nate Byam, the second tight end, along with Vernon Davis. 2 wideouts and Frank Gore carrying. Fighting his way for a yard. Charles Johnson leading the defensive charge. Frank Gore ran for 149 yards last week, a franchise record 22 100-yard rushing games in his career.
Yeah, he is unbelievable when you look at his complete game. Look at that, 8 negative rushes out of 116 this year. But you know what, as good as Frank is, Frank needs a breather at times in games. He needs a supplement, and I think we're going to see more of Westbrook, at least hopefully some in this game.
Adam Snyder replaces Chilo Rachel at right guard. Rachel out with a leg problem. Here's Gore bouncing around. That's a nice run by Frank Gore up to the 28-yard line. John Beeson with the tackle. John Beeson, who's been outstanding ever since coming into the league with the Carolina Panthers. But his overall defensive production, his tackle production, has been down, playing the weak side linebacker with Thomas Davis still out with an injury.
Well, it's easier to game plan and keep him off of every tackle when he's over on one side of the formation. And he told us he actually likes it better in the middle, where he can go sideline to sideline and be the playmaker he is.
2 tight ends in. One of them, Nate Byam, splits all the way to the right side. 3rd and 2, Byam in motion. It's Gore, and he's got a first down. The one thing about Frank Gore, you talk about getting him some rest, and certainly Mike Johnson, the offensive coordinator, talked about that. Gore doesn't want to come out of the game.
Well, that's and you love that mentality if you're Frank, and he's going to get out there, and he's refused to lose type guy. But if you're Mike Singletary, you got to protect Frank from Frank. I mean, there's just times. There's Mike Johnson there, the offensive coordinator. I mean, you love that part of Frank, but you also know that you got to get him some rest in games.
Frank Gore, 4 carries, 31 yards. First down, Niners at their own 31-yard line. It's Frank Gore, and he stopped. Wrapped up immediately by James Anderson. With Thomas Davis out, James Anderson has gotten a chance to start, and this is his 5th year in the NFL, and he's done well as a starter.
No, very good player. Watch the crease right there by Landry, and then you'll see James Anderson come and finish it off. You see there? Derek Landry, who took it inside on an inside gap charge into the gap between the center and the guard. That's how you defeat the 49er run game. You penetrate with your D-line, you force it to bounce, and the linebackers clean it up.
Well, Brian Westbrook is in, but Frank Gore stays in. So it's 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers.
Love this.
And a timeout called by San Francisco as they want to talk it over. Time to update what's happening in Chicago. Kurt Menefee, you've got it.
Redskins marching, but suddenly it stops. McNabb, ball tipped by Israel Adonijah right into the hands of DJ Moore. 54 yards later, that's good for a touchdown and a 7-0 Bears lead. Back to Carolina and Sam and Tim.
Thanks, Kurt. That is Lovie Smith football. He wants his guys, his defense, making plays, staying on the ball, and going.
Yeah, and the same thing Foxy does here with his guys in terms of creating turnovers. You know, talking back to Frank and getting some supplementation and getting some other touches in there in terms of the ball distribution to other players. It's not like there's a slouch behind him in Brian Westbrook.
Oh, no, not at all.
We know what Brian has done in this league for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's got 5 touches this year.
He's joined
5
the team
touches in 6 games for the 49ers.
He joined the team late in preseason, but this guy has been around the NFL a long time. On second down, Smith wants to go screen pass, does to Gore, and Frank Gore takes it out of bounds up near the 40-yard line. Well, spotted at the 39. Ed Johnson chased him out, 10-yard pickup on the play.
That's a nice play. Very nice play with two running backs, true running backs in the backfield. They're going to put pressure on you. That's what one thing talking to Alex Smith, he said about Mike Johnson, and no indictment on Jimmy Ray, who was here and started the season as the offensive coordinator, but Alex told us there's been a noticeable difference, that Mike Johnson's changing the game plan up week to week, and we see that defenses are more on their heels trying to play us now.
3 wide receivers in on 3rd and 2. Crabtree motions. Smith gets time and completes it to Crabtree, hit immediately by Chris Gamble, but he's got looks like he's got enough for the first down.
And here's what the 49ers do, Sam, with their personnel, and it's really universal language around the NFL. 21 personnel is how they identify it. 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 2 wide receivers. You see it right there. Huge part of what they do. They love to run out of that one. And this is what there is. They're 11 personnel. 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers, which most teams in this league like to throw out of, obviously the 3 wides, but we're going to see something different, and I think we'll try to chart it today with San Francisco, throwing out of the 21 and running out of the 11.
Anthony Dixon in at running back, the rookie out of Mississippi State on first down. Smith buys some time, waits, and throws deep again. He's got a man wide open, but out of bounds is Josh Morgan. Richard Marshall was covering on the play, but he fell down. Morgan was wide open, but caught the pass out of bounds.
And Alex Smith got nailed just as he released that football. 21 personnel, we talked about it. 2 running backs, 1 tight end. They're throwing the football. You got to like it. Nick Hayden puts a pretty good shot on him, but you line up in 21 personnel, and most defenses around this league are going to, okay, we need to put the 8th guy in the box. Here comes our safety. And we'll roll him up to defend the run. I like what San Francisco's doing right now, changing it up, and what they're doing out of these formations.
Dominic Ziegler in as a 3rd wide receiver for the 49ers. On 2nd and 10, Frank Gore basically straight ahead with power as he takes it up close to the 48-yard line. A pickup of 5. They'll spot it at the 47. Adam Snyder in at right guard with a good block up front.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 3 wide receivers, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 11 personnel. passing formation, and it's a run. So you got guys out there thinking pass. And they run a nice little play to the right side up inside.
Left tackle Joe Staley is out of the game for the 49ers, and Tony Raggi replaces him. So 2 changes on the offensive line because of injuries for the 49ers. Have to get to the Carolina 48 for a first down. Everybody out. Smith can't find anybody. Throws it away. The closest one to it was Ted Ginn. And the 49ers will be forced to punt. So now there's got to be some concern for San Francisco. They've had an injury to Chilo Rachel, the right guard, and an injury to Joe Staley, the left tackle.
And that's the one that will really hurt with Joe Staley. And Shiloh's a good player, but he's missed a little bit this year already with a neck injury. Adam Snyder started a bunch of games, but they lose Joe Staley. That's huge.
Steve Smith back to return this punt. He's deep in his own territory. Great high kick by Andy Lee. Fair catch. And it's dropped by Smith, but I believe he's got it back. So he hadn't handled a punt since late in the 2008 season. There's the first one, and he juggled, but he got it back. You know what's coming. Wednesday, San Francisco. It's the World Series, and the Giants are going to be there because of this Uribe home run.
That was
Big
in the eighth,
run.
too, right?
Yes,
that was the eighth inning home run last night.
And then in came Wilson to shut the door. And Ryan Howard was up with 2 on and 2 outs, and he took call strike 3. Giants win in 6 and on to the World Series. D'Angelo Williams, good hole and a good run on first down up to the 24-yard line. Patrick Willis made the stop. Pickup of 8 on the play.
Dynamic running back D'Angelo Williams. Going to be interesting to see what happens here, as we venture through this season. Clearly he didn't get traded before the trade deadline. He is in the final year of his contract, and he is an outstanding player who's gotten it cranked up, Sam, over the last couple of games running the football.
6 carries, 28 yards. Panthers with the ball as they change into the field. We've reached the end of the first quarter. San Francisco leading Carolina 7-3. Back in Charlotte, offensive lineman for the 49ers, number 74 is Joe Staley, number 62, Chilo Rachel, both with stingers, and it looks like they're okay and should return. Matt Moore to put it up on second down, thrown short, and it's dropped. Try to hit D'Angelo Williams out of the backfield. Brings up a 3rd and 2 for Carolina. Panthers have not scored a touchdown in the first quarter this season. Statistics pretty close as far as the rushing game is concerned. The big pass, 53 yards for the 49ers from Alex Smith to Vernon Davis. Set up the touchdown. Carolina 2 for 4 on 3rd down conversions with 3 tight ends in. Jeff King, Gary Barnidge, and Dante Rosario. Handed to D'Angelo Williams. Great tackle. The safety, Deshaun Goldson. Almost like a run blitz by Goldson.
Yeah, he saw it from where he was coming from. You watch him here. The ball's going to try to get here. It's a safety blitz the whole way. He's going to hit D'Angelo right in the hole. No chance for it. Now let's look for this. When they get into that 1 tight end, 1 running back, 3 tight end formation, that means they're a one-on-one out there on Steve Smith, especially when they run the safety up inside like that. Look for Steve to take one over the top if they get into that 3 tight end look again.
Jason Baker's second punt of the game. Ted Ginn runs up to take it at the 35. Avoids 1 man. Then he goes down close to the 40-yard line. And that's exactly where they'll spot it.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By PlayStation Move. Move into the action only on PS3. And by Sprint, the Now Network.
That's the defensive coordinator of the 49ers, Greg Minuski. And you You see, when they hold the opposition down fewer than 17 points, 9-1. 17 or more, 1-12. Dominic Ziegler, number 17, in as a third wide receiver. 49ers start from the 39. Joe Staley back in at left tackle. Shallow Rachel has not returned. Gore turning it upfield. It's up to the 43-yard line. Picked up 4 on the play. Nick Hayden made the tackle for Carolina.
And 2 good blocks here for this run by Frank Gore. Joe Staley, they're going to crease it in the air. He gets a nice block, and then watch Vernon Davis. Little chip, help out his tackle. Now leak to the linebacker. Wash him out. Able to make it a positive gain.
Working out of the shotgun, Greg Hardy in at defensive end for Carolina. On second down, Smith looked right, went short to Gore, off his hands and incomplete. Let's check out Chicago and Washington in Chicago. Here's Kurt Menefee.
We showed you the McNabb pass that was intercepted in return for a touchdown. This time he hooks up with Santana Moss going the right way. 24-yard score. Redskins and Bears all even at 7. Sam and Tim.
Thanks very much, Kurt. Donovan McNabb loves to play in Chicago, his hometown. Washington 3-3, needing a win, with the Giants and Philly ahead of them. 49ers 2 for 3 on third down conversions. This is 3rd and 6. 3 wide receivers in. And a lot of movement. False start against San Francisco.
False start. Offense number 77.
Ron Winter, our referee.
It remains
First
third down.
penalty of the game.
Well, they're trying to identify the front, and look at all these guys standing up. You got one guy who's down in a position. Now they're trying to identify the front, who's coming where, protection declaration, and then Yapati, little flinch right there. Easy for the umpire to pick up and throw the flag.
Panthers have 6 defensive backs in. 49ers have to get to the 49-yard line for first down. 3 wide receivers. Ted Ginn is the third, along with Michael Crabtree and Josh Morgan. A lot of movement on the defensive line. 4-man rush. Smith steps up, throwing, and a leaping attempt by Ted Ginn, but off his hands and incomplete. He was covered by number 41, Captain Munnerlyn. Good coverage by the Panthers. And the 49ers, who scored on their first possession, a very exciting drive, 4 plays, have punted the last 2 times they've had the ball. Andy Lee. Line drive, low kick. Stephen Smith waits. It bounces. It rolls right to him. Steve Smith takes it back up the sideline, cuts inside. Great return by Steve Smith. Fans get a rise out of that. Niners have the only touchdown of the game. It was a 1-yard pass to Vernon Davis. They lead it 7-3.
How you good, big bro?
I feel good going back to my roots. Watch it happen.
Going back to his roots, loves to return punts. This was a 32-yard punt return. He wanted to spark his team. That's a spark. Panthers start from their 47-yard line. Reggie Smith replaces Taylor Mays at safety for the 49ers. Matt Moore to put it up on first down. He's got a man. Big collision. Did he hold on? Yes. What a catch by David Geddes. He was hit just as the ball arrived, and he held on.
Yeah, and it's man free. You got a corner over there. Corner's over. That means you're going to have Shante Spencer in man, knowing he's got help behind him. So he gets in a trail position. Very good job. Good throw by Matt Moore. On time, in rhythm, and a terrific catch. For Geddes, basically just fighting and taking it away from Reggie Smith.
From the 34, D'Angelo Williams reversed his field, took a hit, spun down, the ball pops loose, and it is recovered by the 49ers. A good job by San Francisco attacking the ball. They got D'Angelo Williams a little off balance, then went for the ball, and it came loose. 49ers with the takeaway. at their own 44-yard line.
Yeah, and great job by San Francisco with the pursuit. Again, trying to hit the perimeter. Shante Spencer trying to get it right there. There's Nate Clements. Nate's the one that rips it out. Outstanding strip there by Nate Clements, who's probably having his best year with the San Francisco 49ers. And they needed that. I mean, one thing about this team, takeaways, 7 of them coming into this game. Hard to win a lot of games on Sundays when you don't take it away.
Harris Harrelson with the fumble recovery at the 44-yard line.
See if they take one up top right here out of the run formation. Perfect spot on the field to do it.
2 tight ends in, Byam and Vernon Davis. The play fake to Gore. Smith with plenty of time. Short to Gore out of the backfield. Turns it into a nice gain down to the Carolina 34-yard line. Richard Marshall chased them out of bounds.
And they wanted Ted Ginn deep, did Alex. Good spot on the field right here. Here's Ted Ginn. You're going to see him go deep on a post. They're going to have 2 over the top. Double coverage on him. So Alex makes the read. It's not there. Little clear out with the other guys. Frank wide open right down near the red zone now.
Frank Gore leads all running backs in receptions this season. That's his 34th, a 22-yard gain. Anthony Dixon is in at running back. Gore gets a rest. Blitz coming. Quick outside to Crabtree. And he is pulled down by Charles Godfrey, the safety, down at the 27-yard line. A 7-yard pickup. That's a good play by Alex Smith. He got rid of it right away, saw the blitz coming.
Well, here's the deal. They've got Carolina thinking now what they're going to do. They've lined up in that 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end, and they've been running out of it. So now they line up and they throw out of it, throw a quick rocket screen out to the edge. I'll tell you, Crabtree's numbers have gone up, at least in my opinion, when you watch him and you watch him on tape. They're trying to get him the ball more since Mike Johnson has stepped in.
3 wide receivers in. Off the play fake, rolling is Smith, throwing short to Crabtree, and he's spun down by Richard Marshall at the 24-yard line. It's a first down for the 49ers. Trying to get some points off the turnover. Frank Gore comes back in the game. Gore has 7 carries, 39 yards, and 2 receptions for 32 yards. It's a man who leads the NFC in total yards from scrimmage.
Alex having a nice day so far, and this is where he's been lethal all season, down here in the money zone, the red zone.
3 wide receivers. Dominic Ziegler is in for Crabtree. Gore carries, big hole, and Frank Gore takes it down to the 12-yard line. A 12-yard run. Richard Marshall made the tackle, but Gore looking really good. He is the #1 offensive weapon.
Yeah, Upati's going to pull out, so watch him, number 77, and then Frank's going to bounce it the other way. You see that? He breaks the tackle by Richard Marshall. No way are you going to tackle Frank Gore if you don't get your head and your body across and in front of his body. He will run through the arm tackles every time.
Anthony Dixon back in, replacing Frank Gore. 3 wide receivers in. Here's Dixon, and the rookie is forced back. Good job of penetration by the Panthers, and they forced him out of bounds for a loss back to the 18-yard line. There's Frank Gore coming back into the game. So he's getting these brief rests, 1, maybe 2 plays at most, and then he's back in the game.
Yeah, and Dixon, I mean, that guy lit it up in training camp, and then has had 1 touchdown, 1 run early in the year and got the touchdown. We're going to see more of him, and there's no doubt in my mind as this game goes on, and the more Frank gets touches, the better chance, clearly, I think we're going to see of Brian Westbrook.
2 tight ends in. Byam lines up in the backfield. They lost 6 on the last play. Smith to Byam. It's through his hands. Nate Byam is a rookie tight end out of Pittsburgh. He's known for his blocking, and he kind of was a little late turning on that pass, and the ball went through his hands. Incomplete.
Well, if you're going to be a guy that knows you're a quick check down, you better whip your head around quick.
Yeah.
That takes me back to the preseason. I saw a few of those by Byam in the preseason as well.
Have to get to the 2-yard line for a first down. 3rd and 16. 6 defensive backs in for the Panthers.
Their play is Vernon Davis right down the seam.
3 wide receivers. Smith going of a first down at about the 6-yard line. They picked up 12, and
guess that means kick.
Yes, Mike Singletary sends out his field goal kicking unit, led by Joe Nedney, who is 5 for 6 this season. 49ers trying to make something out of the turnover. Nedney will attempt a 24-yard field goal out of the hold of Andy Lee. Brian Jennings is the long snapper. Everything is good. And lastly, and most importantly, the kick is good. 24-yard field goal for Joe Nedney. 49ers with a takeaway on the fumble recovery, turn it into 3 points.
Today's game is sponsored by Chevrolet. Every model is backed by a 100,000-mile 5-year powertrain limited warranty.
Coverage on the kickoff for San Francisco. The rookie Anthony Dixon, Navarro Bowman, a linebacker, and C.J. Spillman just picked up on off of waivers from San Diego. He's a special teams guy.
He was special last week in that game. He was outstanding on special teams.
Joe Nedney kicks it off. Line drive kick. Bounces in the end zone. Mike Goodson takes it on a bounce, takes a knee for the touchback. And it's a 10-3 San Francisco lead as Matt Moore gets set to return to the field. The t-shirt is 49ers, the cap is Giants, and the Giants are in the World Series against the Texas Rangers. It begins Wednesday night right here on Fox, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Matt Moore on first down, sliding grab made at the 40-yard line. Good throw by Matt Moore and an excellent catch by Steve Smith. Pick up 21 on the play.
Steve, on this nasty 4 route, or they call it dig route, basically just an in cut. You can see it right there. Bang, he gets it inside. Slide down to pick up that low ball. Matt Moore has found himself a nice rhythm today. And talking to John Fox on Friday, he says, I promise you, we're better on offense than we've showed this season. So far, it's been pretty decent today. And an upgrade for Carolina.
From the 41, Jonathan Stewart carry across the 45 up to the 46. Let's check out what the Rams and Bucks are doing. Here's Kurt Menefee.
How about the Rams trying to win their 4th game of the season already? Danny Amendola taking it from 5 yards out from Sam Bradford, and they lead the Buccaneers in Tampa 10-3. Sam and Tim.
Kurt, can you say Rookie of the Year, Sam Bradford? If he keeps going like this. Very impressive. 3-3. Seattle 3-2. Arizona 3-2. 49ers need wins. They're at 1-5. 2 tight ends in. Moore play fake. Gets rid of it short. And the completion up to the 45-yard line to Steve Smith. Matt Moore said he wasn't surprised by the change after 2 games this season. Things weren't clicking, and he felt he was slower in reacting and getting rid of the ball.
Yeah, it was a head scratcher, as he said, and the way the season started and how they came out 0-2. Look, coming into the season, the guy was 6-2 as a starter. And I know John Fox and Marty Herney, they don't go into the draft, into the offseason with Matt Moore as their guy if they didn't think that he can do it. And that's what Fox told us. Look, this guy has won games in this league. He's playing pretty good here.
On 3rd and 5, blitz from the outside, and Moore's pass may have been tipped. There's a flag downfield. Let's see who it's against. David Clowney thinks it's going to be against Taylor Mays. Mays is signaling that the pass was uncatchable.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't way outside that 6-foot white stripe on the sideline, it was catchable. And I'm not so sure that the ball wasn't tipped, as you said, because if that ball's tipped, all DPI, defensive pass interference calls are off.
Defense number 23 penalized at the spot of the foul and a first down.
Little double move here, little stutter. Now he's going to go. Oh, yeah. That's clearly pass interference.
And Steve Smith downfield, wanting him to look his way. And Mike Singletary says no.
Yeah, that
was
ball,
uncatchable.
No, it was catchable.
15-yard penalty, and the Panthers have the ball at the 40-yard line. Two tight ends in. It's Jonathan Stewart. Almost trying to hurdle one of the defenders. Got a couple of yards on the play. Spotted down to the 37-yard line. A pickup of 3 on the play.
Brea Franklin and Ryan Khalil right in the middle. Khalil's one of the better centers in pro football, and you watch him. And Brea Franklin, one of the better nose tackles in the 3-4, and just underrated. There's another guy with junior high shoulder pads. It's defensive lineman.
That's right. 2nd and 7. In motion, David Geddes. Here's Stewart. Waits for a hole to open. Gets down inside the 35 to the 34. Takeo Spikes on the tackle.
Ryan Khalil has got such great feet. And Brea Franklin here's Khalil right in the middle. Brea's going to get to the side, but watch how Khalil just stays with him. He's going to shoot it to the side, going to keep his feet, going to keep his feet, going to keep his feet. Gets Brea down on the ground. Khalil went to the Pro Bowl last year, and we asked him, why are you so good? Why do you move so good? I'm telling you, I think a big part of it is the guy was little before he was big, so he's a good athlete.
Ahmad Brooks in as a right defensive end on this 3rd down play. Moore gets time and throws, and it's incomplete. Incomplete, intended for Brandon LaFell, the rookie wide receiver. There's a flag on the play.
You got DPI, defensive pass interference on San Francisco.
Oh, they upset on the 49ers sideline. Mike Singletary is like 5 yards onto the field.
Pass interference, defense number 31. Penalized at the spot of the foul on the 1st down.
Now Mike Singletary is 10 yards in from the sideline. The intensity of Mike Singletary. He holds nothing back.
I asked him, I said, you wish you had a helmet? He looked right at me, he goes, yeah, I wish I had a helmet. Spike, how frustrated are you? You want a helmet? I want a helmet.
Spotted at the 49ers 29-yard line. 2 pass interference penalties. Blitz coming. The run by D'Angelo Williams. Goldson came on that blitz again. Good job by Williams. Spinning away, and a short pickup. Maybe half a yard on the play. Goldson again with that late blitz, and he broke up that whole play.
Yeah, he is a stud, especially as a run defender. And watch Isaac Sapuaga right here, number 99, who's playing very good for San Francisco. He's a rugby player growing up. That's what he calls his sneaky stance, and he's very effective at it. He is built from a leverage point. Rarely are you going to see him get his hand down on the ground and coming out of a 3-point stance.
2nd and 10, quick outside to Steve Smith. And he is hit by Nate Clemens and knocked out of bounds at the 22-yard line. They'll bring up a 3rd and 3, a pickup of 7 on the play.
Well, this is the best Carolina's offense has looked all year, as far as I'm concerned.
And yet they still have only 3 points to show for it. They have had troubles getting the ball into the end zone. Ray McDonald is in on the defensive line. Number 91 for the 49ers. Ahmad Brooks is in. He's on the left side this time. Jonathan Stewart in the backfield. 3 wide receivers.
Steve Smith against Will Peterson at the top of your screen.
Matt Moore, short drop, and he completes it to Dante Rosario, who's wrestled down hard by Goldson, but he may have gotten enough for the 1st down. Forward progress to the 18. It's a 1st down. It's a good job by Rosario, knowing where that 1st down marker was.
And a good job by Matt Moore getting the ball out on time. I would think one thing that you look at with Matt Moore today is he's found a rhythm. Ball's coming out on time. Not a great ball, a little bit behind him. Rosario is able to capture it, and then the suplex by Deshaun Goldson. Whoa. Sam, you want a uniform? You want to go play?
Not that. 9th play of the drive. Jonathan Stewart slowed down. And looks like no gain on the play. 5 runs, 4 passes on this drive for Carolina.
Like seeing that guy get more touches too. I mean, coming into the game today, Jonathan Stewart is getting about 7 carries a game. And if you go back to last year, I believe these 2 guys, these 2 running backs, Jonathan Stewart, D'Angelo Williams, the only 2 running backs tandem in the National Football League to rush for over 1,100 yards apiece. They were dynamic.
Steve Smith has come out. 2 tight ends in, 2 running backs. They motion Barnage, the play fake. Moore throws wide open, David Geddes. Touchdown, Carolina. What a route. First NFL touchdown for the rookie out of Baylor, David Geddes.
What a route. A double move. He sells the out route. Nate Clements came up. He fell down. Nate has been vulnerable to the double moves. And David Geddes, they say this guy is their Marcus Colston. Of course, Colston, a great one with the New Orleans Saints. He improves every day. He's made huge strides. Outstanding double move, out and up, and a perfect throw from Matt Moore.
Outstanding drive by the Carolina Panthers. John Casey's extra point is good. 10 plays, 80 yards, and an 18-yard touchdown pass from Moore to Geddes.
Got to be fired up, out and up, and watch Nate Clements slip. He was beat anyway. He jumped out that out route so fast and then went to the ground. Look at the timing, the rhythm. Gets it out on time, perfect throw.
I wonder if Clements isn't having trouble with that ankle. It bothered him all week.
He's got trouble with it. I mean, we watched him limp on tape all week last week in that game. Good protection, gets to that back foot, takes a hitch, and delivers a perfect strike. Just shoots it right in there for the touchdown.
Well, there's a happy David Geddes, and he's got the football for the trophy case. Well done. So the Carolina Panthers have come back with an outstanding drive of their own. They've had 2 10-play drives in this game, giving them 7 this season. But the first ones this season that they've actually put points on the board.
That's the big point right there. I mean, you talk about those 10-play drives. They came up with nothing up until today. Now 10 points, both after the big, long keep-away drives.
Reese Lloyd, the kickoff specialist. Back deep is Ted Ginn, excellent return man. Line drive, strong leg. Ginn 5 yards deep, takes a knee. A touchback. For the 49ers, this is the start of a long trip. Next week, they will be in London to play the Denver Broncos. What they decided to do was come here, play the game, and leave from here, get to London on Monday, and they will practice Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at a resort outside of London. But they'll enjoy the sights. The people in London are waiting. They have been excited about it. But the Broncos won't go till Friday.
Yeah.
They're going to stay here and practice.
Well, they're going too late, and San Francisco may be going a little bit too early. And I know Mike Singletary wants to get the body clocks managed and get guys right. It'll be a big game against the Broncos.
Adam Snyder remains in at right guard, replacing Shiloh Rayshall, who went out with a stinger. Joe Staley's back in at left tackle. Frank Gore carrying and fights his way through the hole. That's a good run by Frank Gore for 7 yards. Richard Marshall the tackle, but that's a hard run by Gore.
Well, I think what's happening is they're clearly getting in the 3 wide receiver sets, what we like to call 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end. And they're spreading it out, and Frank's had so much more success running up the middle today. I mean, he's typically got most of his runs, and his best runs on the edges. Up the middle has been a positive for them today.
Great day here in Charlotte. Low 70s, sunshine. It's been just a perfect day.
It's like California weather. I mean, it is. You know, October here in the Carolinas and this part of the country, it really feels like back home.
It's 11:15 body time for the 49ers. 49ers from at the 27-yard line on 2nd down. Working out of the shotgun, 3 wide receivers. Smith being pressured and hit. He got rid of it. Completes the Crabtree. Broke a tackle. Good play by Michael Crabtree. Up to the 45-yard line, and Smith hanging in there as he was hit. as he threw 18-yard gain.
Good protection by Frank Gore, because John Beeson was coming right up the gut to put some of that inside pressure on Alex Smith, and Frank Gore picked him up.
Hurry up offense. Everybody out. Smith started to run, then throws it away in the direction of Frank Gore.
And we've been talking about this today. 1 running back, 1 tight end, 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers. Sam, they're running out of it. That's what we called for to start the game. Make the defense think that there's a great chance you're going to throw. Your tendency out of that 3 wides is to throw. And San Francisco has been running it and running it very, very effectively by spreading out that defense in the 3 wide receiver sets. Terrific plan, better execution.
Everett Brown and Greg Hardy at defensive ends for the Carolina Panthers. 49ers 2nd and 10. 3 wideouts. And Vernon Davis, the tight end. Set up the screen pass. Great read by James Anderson. He was in front of that ball and not far from getting an interception.
Well, he had Frank Gore in man coverage. And when they sniff it out, those linebackers, and here he is, James here. He's got Frank. Now watch him. He's just going to run with Frank Gore. He's going to slip behind Adam Snyder. Alex is lucky that one didn't go back for a house call the other way on a pick 6. Very smart player, James Anderson. Got an opportunity to start last year. Become a full-fledged starter this year. He's playing well.
And the rookie defensive end, Greg Hardy, out of Mississippi, with good pressure on Alex Smith. Here's 3rd and 10 for the 49ers. Everybody out. Smith pressured again, missed. Tried to get it to Frank Gore, and that time Chris Gamble was in front of him. And once again, Greg Hardy with good pressure from the defensive end spot.
And this is going to go on the offensive tackle, Anthony Davis. Watch, they're going to run a stunt in front of him, and he's going to go down with Hardy. Now you got to pop back out to the edge. They're going to bring Charles Johnson around on that end tackle game. End goes first, tackle comes around. Anthony Davis has got to stab inside and then pop back out for the outside rusher.
3rd punt of the game for Andy Lee. Good high kick. Steve Smith watches it go into the end zone for a touchback. 55-yard punt. It nets 35 on the touchback. And the Panthers have the ball with little time on the clock, 1:12 and 2 timeouts.
We're talking a lot today about personnel groups, and really that's what this league is. It's about the personnel, how you defend it, how you match up to it. 21 personnel, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 2 wides. Clearly a running formation. They passed 7 times out of it, Sam, only 1 run, and then vice versa with the 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wides. Defenses think, okay, we'll put our nickel in. Here comes the pass, and they've been very, very balanced, creative with 9 runs to 7 passes. Very non-predictable, Sam, versus what we've seen out of San Francisco today versus the early part of the season.
The speedy Mike Goodson in the backfield for Carolina with 3 wide receivers. Everybody out. Matt Moore throws short and completes it to Brandon LaFell, the rookie out of LSU, up to the 29-yard line. 2nd and 9, clock running. Panthers have 2 timeouts remaining. Moore sends everyone out again. Throwing short, completing it again. 1st down up to the 35 to David Geddes. Matt Moore's had a good first half. Geddes with his 4th catch. And a timeout called by the Panthers, leaving them 1 remaining. Upcoming, it's the Visa halftime report. The guys are waiting in the studio. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Jimmy, and Michael. They'll have an update on the Eagles and Titans. Big matchup. Interconference in Nashville. Saints home against Cleveland, and the Saints are struggling. Stay tuned for the Visa halftime report. That's the defensive coordinator of the 49ers, Greg Minuski.
I'll tell you watch Greg, and probably the guy in the league, when you talk about the coordinators, that put a 3-4 defense on the field, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, that does not blitz a lot. He's got great trust in those 3 down linemen. You don't see him generating and manufacturing up a lot of pressure.
Everybody out. Moore being blitzed. They got him. Nate Clements. They have gone with the safety blitz with Goldson The corner blitz this time with Nate Clements, and Clements got there.
Well, and the beauty of that was it's a cat blitz, but it's really not a blitz because you're not sending extra guys. There's Nate right there off the edge. They drop the backer out. Still only a 4-man rush.
Angelo Williams carrying for no gain on the play. And the first half is going to come to an end. The blitz and the sack by Nate Clements stops the Panthers' drive, and the first half comes to an end. Pretty even. Started good for the 49ers with their opening drive for a touchdown. Carolina came back to match that. It's 10-10 at halftime. We are back in Charlotte, getting set to start the third quarter with the 49ers and the Carolina Panthers. It's been a good return to the starting quarterback position for Matt Moore, as he went 11 for 15 for 109 yards, and they put together some long drives that resulted in points.
Well, and he needed that. I mean, the offense needed that. When you talk about the quarterback play here in Carolina, it's been brutal, bottom line, and it's gotten better today. Matt Moore found a rhythm. Coming into the game today, Sam, they had 5 drives. 5 drives coming into this game of 10 players or more. The payoff, 0.
Right.
No points off those drives. Today they did the work, and they got the payoff. They were able to score 10 points off of those long drives, and then scored the most points in a first half with 10 since they have week 1. So good stuff. They've been able to run the ball effectively, and we've seen David Geddes step up as well too. We asked ourselves that question coming in. Steve Smith back in the lineup. He's the spark. Who else? Well, today it's been David Geddes with a touchdown and 4 catches for 53 yards in the first half.
We asked that question, and Steve Smith asked that question as well. He wanted to know who would step up to help and take the pressure off. Reese Lloyd with the kick. Ted Ginn takes it about 4 yards deep, and again takes a knee. Lloyd's got the strong leg. Third touchback of the game on the kickoff by Reese Lloyd. Alex Smith set to return to start the second half. See the numbers at halftime. Pretty close running wise. Passing edge to San Francisco. Alex Smith passing for 129 yards and 1 touchdown. Only 1 turnover in the game. That was a fumble by Carolina. The ball ripped out of the hands of D'Angelo Williams by Nate Clements.
Yep.
And recovered by Paris Harrelson.
And the big difference in the passing game has been Vernon with that big long one. 53 yards. He's pretty much been shut out since the first quarter in terms of catching passes.
49ers come out with Frank Gore and 3 wide receivers, and the pass intended for Vernon Davis is incomplete. Pressure from Derek Landry, the defensive tackle for the Carolina Panthers.
And I think this one's on Vernon. He's got to get wider, and he's got to get out. Pivot to the outside because Godfrey makes the break. Alex is lucky that one didn't, again, go back to the house. Godfrey was all over it. Vernon's got to hit that pivot route and then just float more to the side because Alex is clearly, Sam, throwing to a landmark.
They hit Davis twice on that touchdown drive, once for 53 and once for the touchdown, and haven't connected with him since. Flag on the play. That play may come back. Good run by Frank Gore of 12 yards, but that could be coming back on a hold.
A lot of success right up the middle, getting in that 3 wides and running right up the middle, increasing it.
Offense number 85. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
That's Vernon Davis called for the hold. Negates a good run. And the
love the plan,
head coach.
Love the plan.
Is he upset? Who did it? I don't know if he knows who did it. They did announce 85, Vernon Davis.
Vernon did it, my
Ball back to the 10-yard line. Bring up a 2nd and 20. Moran Norris and Anthony Dixon are in the backfield now.
14-47.
4th penalty of the game against the 49ers. Those are the only penalties of the game.
And it was a problem for them last week. 11 penalties in that game against the Raiders.
Adam Snyder remains in at right guard. Shiloh Rachel was injured in the first half, has not returned. Joe Staley, who went out briefly, is in at left tackle, and okay. Alex Smith being rushed, and down he goes. Charles Johnson with the sack. Johnson's 3rd sack of the season.
And Anthony Davis fell down, and Alex Smith looks like he's hurting a little bit. Anthony Davis, there's Charles Johnson. Watch Charles just run around him. Sticks it inside. Anthony Davis has no chance. Alex doesn't see it coming and just gets blasted from the blind side. Alex came down funny on that shoulder, it looked like, as Charles Johnson was putting all 275 right on his back.
And now it has to be concern right here, as Alex Smith has remained down. David Carr warming up as the backup quarterback.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Visa. More people go with Visa. By Dish Network. And by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
It did not look good for Alex Smith, walking off, holding that left arm close to his body. Looked like he came down hard on that left shoulder.
It did. Charles Johnson really unblocked. He comes down awful hard on that left shoulder, and you could see the look on his face as he was sitting there, that just upset and dejected. Feel bad for him.
First action for David Carr this season, and he puts it up for Vernon Davis, but came up short on the pass on 3rd and long. They missed. David Carr, one-time first pick overall in the 2002 draft. Played 5 seasons for Houston, 1 season here in Carolina before going to the Giants, where he was the backup quarterback to Eli Manning the Super Bowl year. Here's a kick out of the end zone.
They got the return set up. You got 2 guys out there on the gunners on both sides. Tells you they're coming with a return to get the field position for Steve Smith.
Andy Lee's kick bounces down near midfield, taken by Steve Smith. And he's wrapped up immediately. Delaney Walker, good coverage on the play by Delaney Walker. He's missed the last 2 games coming into today with an ankle injury. Alex Smith is out, hurt. When the 49ers have the ball, the game's in the hands of David Carr, 9th-year man out of Fresno State. He's on the sideline. That Steve Smith had an equipment problem. Right here, D'Angelo Williams carrying as the Panthers start from the 43. A pickup of 3 on the play. Good field position for the Panthers to start this drive.
Well, look at this, and the importance of field position when you put a TD percentage on it. You start on your own 20, you got a 14% chance of scoring, and then everything in between. You get over on the other side, 30% chance of scoring if your field position, Sam, starts on the other side. That means the 49-yard line going in against your opponent.
This drive started at the 43. 2 tight ends in. In motion is David Geddes. Steve Smith is back in. The play fake by Matt Moore. Outside to Dante Rosario, the tight end, who was pulled out of bounds by Patrick Willis. But it's a first down. It looks like a first down.
Watch Matt Moore here on his play fakes. Play action. Everyone knows Carolina's a very good run team. That's not going to do it. I mean, that is just a token play action fake. And even Matt Moore talked about it. He said, you know, when you're a young quarterback and you got so many things on your mind, okay, snap count. What are they in defensively? What personnel group do we have in? Boy, what are they showing post snap? I got to identify the mic. And you forget, he said, as a young player, about those details, those easy details of play action fakes.
It is a first down for Carolina. Geddes went in motion. Williams looking for room. Short pickup down across the 45. They'll spot it at the 44-yard line. A pickup of 3 on the play. The Panthers starting the season 0-5. 3rd time in their history they've started 0-5. But in the history of the NFL, no team starting 0-5 has made the playoffs. So they don't have a lot of positive things, but the coaching staff, led by John Fox, has remained positive and upbeat. They want the players to get better. They want the team to get better each week. This has been a pretty good game. Guys jumping across.
Yeah, they got Gary Williams to move, I think.
Manny Lawson made a move across the line of scrimmage Let's see.
Neutral zone infraction.
Oh.
Defense number 99.
Yeah, that was
Moving
Manny
into the
Lawson.
neutral zone that caused the offense to false start. The 5-yard penalty remains second down.
Interesting.
Singletary claiming to the official that someone on the offensive line moved. 5 penalties now in the game, all to San Francisco.
Well, you can flash in there, but when the offensive lineman, if you draw him off by a flash, you better, and I mean a flash by, saying here I come, and you flash at the guy. If you're out of the neutral zone, they can't call that on the defense.
On 2nd and 2, D'Angelo Williams carries for a first down. Down to the 49ers 34-yard line. Takeo Spikes made the tackle.
Watch Ryan Khalil on number 52, Patrick Willis. Everyone knows what a great job on Abrea Franklin. Now he sifts to Patrick, so he gets the kick down there on Abrea. Then he kicks out to Patrick Willis and is able to block him too. That's a 2-for-1 if you're Ryan Khalil. And Patrick looks agitated.
Yes, he does. 2 tight ends in for Carolina. They haven't run for all that much, but they've stayed with it. Jumping across Justin Smith, pointing at somebody.
Yeah, Travell
and it
Wharton.
is a false start.
Offense number 69. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's Jordan Gross, the left tackle. That's the first penalty of the game on Carolina.
Well, they had both of them. Both the guard, Travell Wharton, and Jordan Gross jumped off. And that's what I was talking about earlier. If you flash in and you force the guy up, and you force the offensive lineman to a false start, you've got to still be in the neutral zone when he goes into his false start. If you get back, like I think Manny Lawson did a few plays ago, it's okay.
King shifts. The play fake by Matt Moore. Wants to go deep. Puts it up top. Looking for Steve Smith. It's incomplete. Covered by the safety, the rookie out of USC, Taylor Mays, who took over as the starting safety a couple of weeks ago.
And Stevie's got some cramps, it looks like, down there. Just a big over route. Takes a lot of time for this to develop. Time that Matt Moore has. He throws a good ball, but the coverage is better from Taylor Mays, who brings tremendous range to the back end of the 49er defense.
And in the end zone, Steve Smith, as Tim mentioned, looked like he was cramping up in the legs. The trainer's checking him out. We'll step out for a moment.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Verizon, the official wireless service provider of the NFL.
Back here in Charlotte, Steve Smith on the sideline. Looks like leg cramps. As the trainers work on him, he's replaced by the rookie Brandon LaFell out of LSU. 2nd and 15 for the Panthers. Jonathan Stewart wrapped up. Good play by Abrea Franklin in the middle.
Let's take another look here at Patrick, number 52, Patrick Willis, getting up inside. You got a blocker on him there, and Fiametta forces it to cut back to the help. Everybody is talking, where's Patrick Willis? His production is down. Mike Singletary told him, look, don't worry about your production. When you become an elite player in this league, people are going to game plan against you. And that's exactly what they've done to Patrick Willis. You put on the tape, Sam, the guy's still playing outstanding football, even though the production's not there.
Mike Goodson in the backfield. Matt Moore wants to set up the screen, doesn't have it, throws it into the ground. Again, read very well by the 49ers, had it all covered and forced the incomplete pass.
Patrick Willis was all over this. Here's Patrick, 52. He's got the running back, Mike Goodson, in man coverage. Look at where his eyes go. Pat's on him the whole way, jumps in between the 2 blockers, and that thing was doomed from the get-go.
How about this? John Casey will attempt a field goal from 55 yards out. He's made a couple this season from 50. The kick on the way, and it is good. His 40th career 50 yards or more. John Casey ties Morton Anderson for 2nd all time.
Something about those lefties.
He's got the leg, and Carolina has the lead. This season, John Casey has hit from 50, 53, and now 55. The kickoff by Reese Lloyd, brought out by Ted Ginn from 3 yards deep. He stalls at the 20-yard line and brought down by Eric Norwood. Next week, the NFL on Fox. It all begins with the all-new Ford Edge Drive 1 pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. First game of the doubleheader, Carolina at St. Louis, Green Bay at the Jets. America's game of the week, Vikings at the Patriots. Some of you will see the Seahawks and the Raiders. It's the NFL on Fox doubleheader week next week. David Carr starts this series at the 19-yard line. Frank Gore splits out, empty backfield. And they stop the play with flags everywhere. Looks like a false start against the 49ers.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Anthony Davis, the right tackle, on the false start.
You know, you look at the young players and rookies, and it's almost unfair to expect them to come in, especially at the line of scrimmage, and be great from the get-go. Now, Anthony Davis played his best game last year as a pro, and last week, excuse me. You see flashes of it, Sam, but you also see those rookie mistakes pop up a lot, like every Sunday.
First and 15 from the 14. Frank Gore looking for room, not much, and he's brought down at the 17. John Beeson made the tackle. If you just joined us, Alex Smith, the starting quarterback, was sacked by Charles Johnson. Went down heavily on his left shoulder. It's been diagnosed as a sprained left shoulder. He will not return in this game.
Feel bad for him. And again, there's the rookie right tackle, Anthony Davis, and Charles Johnson. There's Charles right there, just ran right around him. Had no chance to block him before he put his helmet on the back of Alex's shoulder.
5 defensive backs for Carolina. Blitz coming. Carr gets rid of it to Frank Gore, and he steps out of bounds at the 23-yard line. James Anderson forced him out. It'll bring up a third down play. They have to get to the 29 for a first down.
Interesting how we've seen David Carr get into the game since Alex has gotten hurt, and those two plays were both empty sets.
Yep.
Nobody in the backfield. Empty backfield. They chose to cover it the first time. They chose to blitz at that time, and David found the hot read out to Frank Gore.
Again, it's empty. 3 wide receivers. Gore splits out. The tight end Davis splits out.
They're going to blitz it again.
Here they come. They pick it up. Carr throws too high for Ted Ginn. So the 49ers go 3 and out. The penalty, the false start penalty on first down, hurt them right away, set them back, and it was tough to get out.
And watch Ginn here. He wants no part of this. He wants no part of that. Sherrod Martin, the safety, number 23, was bearing down on him, which looked like it was going to have an opportunity for a big hit, and Ted Ginn just turned his back on it.
Steve Smith has leg cramps. Captain Mutherland to return this punt from the 23. Looking for room, not much there, and he's wrestled down at the 27 again by Delaney Walker, who's covering well. 54-yard punt, 5-yard return. Carolina with the ball. Alex Smith on the sideline, ice on the left shoulder. It's a shoulder sprain. How serious, we do not know.
And nobody will know until you get an MRI on that thing and see what the damage is in there to the soft tissue, which, interesting to me, is now with the trip coming up to London, and I'm sure it'll depend on the severity of that shoulder sprain. What do you do with Alex? Send him back to the West Coast, or do you take him overseas?
Panthers start from the 28, their second possession of the second half. Matt Moore to put it up. Hit as he throws, completes to David Geddes. Taken out of bounds by Travis LeBoy at the 34-yard line. Moore took a hard hit.
Oh, he's playing well.
Ahmad Brooks.
No, he's playing well. Ahmad Brooks came. Taylor Mays came. 49ers bringing the blitz, and Matt Moore is seeing it and getting it out on time. I have been impressed, Sam, with Matt Moore in this football game.
13 for 19, 122 yards, 1 touchdown. That to Geddes, no interceptions. Jonathan Stewart, the running back, 2 tight ends. Stewart. Good play by Willis, slowed it down. Patrick Willis forced that play. Good penetration, and Ahmad Brooks wound up making the tackle.
This is what you call downhill filling your gap at the line of scrimmage. Watch Patrick, number 52. He keys it, he sees it. Now he goes and just takes Travell Wharton with his inside shoulder, which is absolutely perfect because you got to force it to your help to the outside. That's what you call spilling it out to your help. And he is a beast. You just can't just look at that dude, Sam.
Steve Smith not in the game. David Clowney in as a third wide receiver. Brandon LaFell and David Geddes, the three wideouts. On third down, pressure coming. And he got rid of it to Geddes. Rather to LaFell. Brandon LaFell, the other rookie wide receiver, takes it up to the 49-yard line for a first down, a pickup of 14.
Well, they've decided here in the second half they're going to blitz or send extra pressure on Matt Moore. LeBoy there, Justin Smith there, and they're going to try to clear it out for Takeo Spikes, who gets blocked. Justin falls back off on the inside and gets his hands on Matt Moore just as Matt unloads it to Brandon LaFell. Again, very good job by Matt Moore with a lot of traffic, a lot of blitz, or a lot of pressure around him, stepping up in the pocket and delivering a strike.
Here's D'Angelo Williams into 49ers territory. Down to the 45-yard line. He picked up 6 on the play. The rookie LaFell has 2 catches. Geddes has 5 catches. So the rookie receivers for the Panthers starting to show something here.
And it's been an easier assimilation, if you will, for David Geddes because he's only played one position. He's played the Z receiver position, which you move him around, some motion, some different things like that off the line of scrimmage, where they've asked Brandon LaFell, and I think LaFell's spinning from the neck up. They've asked him to learn all 3 wideout spots.
D'Angelo Williams behind Tony Fiametta, the fullback. Picked up a couple down to the 43. Bring up a third down play.
Look at this. Look at this. First half running, 61%, highest in the NFL. Well, they get behind or it's not working in the second half, and they're the second lowest in the NFL in running the football. Right now, they're sticking according to their plan and how John Fox has always won football games. The run game, moving the ball and playing good defense.
24 runs, 21 passes in the game for Carolina. Jumping across LeBoy. The tackle, Jordan Gross, went up. Let's see what the call
Jordan
is.
did it on purpose. That's a neutral zone infraction for sure.
Neutral zone infraction, defense number 54. In the neutral zone, causing the offense to false start. A 5-yard penalty.
Watch Jordan Gross.
First down.
Watch how smart he is. He knows he's going to catch the defender in the neutral zone. Exactly what I was talking about. So as soon as he sees him, I'm going to pop up. He's still in the neutral zone. It's exactly what I was talking about earlier with Manny Lawson. Right. If the defender gets back, Sam, before the offensive guy moves, it's going to be on the offensive guy. Very, very bright by Jordan Gross.
First down, Carolina. Steve Smith is back in the game. He's out to the right side. Smith and Geddes the wideouts. Moore puts it up too high and too far for Steve Smith. Let's find out what's going on in Baltimore. Here's the update from Kurt Menefee.
Ed Reed's first game back for the Ravens. He intercepts the Bills, and the Baltimore offense making it pay. Flea flicker ends up in the hands of Anquan Bolden, 34-yard touchdown. Baltimore leads it 27-24. Guys, it was 24-10 Buffalo with 56 seconds left in the first half.
Wow, what a turnaround. Thanks, Kurt. And you see Baltimore at 4-2. Pittsburgh 4-1, leading Miami in the third quarter in their game in Miami. D'Angelo Williams carries for a couple of yards. Late flag as there's some after the whistle activity involving Dante Rosario.
It's Steve Smith. Yeah, it was Steve Smith and Shante Spencer is what it was. And Steve was trying to block him, it looked like right here. He tries to take him down, takes the leg out, cuts him, and then going to get on top of him. And there's going to be a flag thrown. Probably unnecessary roughness on Steve Smith.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 89 offense. Third down.
Now you can see how Steve Smith feels about that. John Fox looking for an explanation on the penalty. But that's a bad penalty on Steve Smith.
Well, and look, I think they want to take cheap shots out of the game for sure. There's nothing wrong with knocking a guy down and jumping on top of him. But I think once a guy's down and you get on top of him and starts the extracurricular stuff completely away from the play, that's why they came up with the unnecessary roughness call.
It's a third down play. Panthers are set back to their 49. They have to get to the San Francisco 28-yard line for a first down. Moore with time. He throws short to Steve Smith. And he's surrounded and balls out. The ball comes loose. 49ers look like they recovered it. Let's see. No signal from the officials.
It's over.
Still haven't gotten a signal from the officials. 49ers pointing that they have the ball. And yes, the officials say it's recovered by San Francisco. Shawntae Spencer recovers the fumble. The second takeaway by the 49ers in the game.
And gives it right back to Steve Smith. He's going to go inside out. Now he's going to just take what he can get. He's going to try to get down. Shawntae Spencer came and hit him and ripped it out and then stayed on top of him.
Steve Smith and Shawntae Spencer going at it with one another.
Well,
here.
this was 2 plays ago when Steve chops him down, bang, and then gets on top of him and says, I'm going to not only knock you down, I'm going to rub it in. He gets a penalty, and now here's a little payback from Shawntae Spencer. He'll come flying in left of your screen. Ball gets knocked out, and Spencer's able to come up with it. And here's another look at it, and John Fox is not going to review this or challenge this, and clearly in his mind that ball was out before Steve Smith's right knee was down.
49ers second takeaway, start from the 41. Gore cutting it back, turns it into a big gainer. Gore into Panther territory inside the 40, down to the 39-yard line. Sherrod Martin, the free safety, who missed the last game against the Bears with a concussion issue, made these tackle. 18-yard gain by Frank Gore.
Watch the block by Vernon Davis on Sherrod Martin that allows it to bounce. Little zone play inside, backside of a zone. Always see if you can just get enough on a guy. And Vernon did on Sherrod Martin and opened up the edge for Frank Gore, who's running with outstanding vision today, Sam, as usual.
Officially a 19-yard gain, 11 carries, 80 yards for Frank Gore. They buy him the tight end in motion. Pitch to Gore. Turns the corner and gets down to the 32-yard line. He picked up 8 on the play. Richard Marshall there to stop him.
I am really, really impressed with Mike Johnson today. Remember we talked earlier about Yapati. He will follow you to the ball, or you follow him, he'll take you right to the ball. Watch the left guard 77. He's going to pull to the right. They flip it to the left to Frank Gore.
Fake you out. Not you, but fakes people out.
No, it's very, very creative and impressive, and they have certainly opened up the play calling since Mike Johnson has taken over.
Brian Westbrook is in the backfield. He's only carried a couple of times this season. Gore gets a rest. Westbrook reverses to Morgan. David Carr with a block. What is David
with a
Carr
what?
doing?
David Carr with a what?
He's. You only have a backup in Troy Smith, and Carr blocking on the reverse for Josh Morgan.
Oh.
David, remember, Alex Smith is out of the game.
Again, misdirection. They're going to pull you potty to the right, the left guard. They're going to hand a reverse back off this way. And Sam, you called it a block. I'll say he tried to block.
He knocked him down. That was Tyler Brayton. He got a good piece of him. Tyler was off balance. He fell.
Tyler was making the tackle.
Ball's at the 28. Frank Gore is back in. First down, 49ers. Gore on the delay. Breaks a couple of tackles inside the 20. And down to the 18, very close to a first down. They give him the first down. He's got it. Frank Gore piling up the yards. Having another strong game.
7.5 a run for these guys. And look at Frank. He just always legs churning, low pad level. Anytime you're going to come up and tackle Frank Gore, you know what you're looking at? You're looking at shoulder pads and knee pads. He just runs with super body length.
Delaney Walker, who missed the last 2 games and has seen only special teams action today, is now in as a second tight end. Gore went right, slips as he tried to reverse, and James Anderson there to stop him at the 19-yard line. A loss of a yard on the play.
I love what they're doing, even though that was an unsuccessful play and Carolina was all over it. You're giving the defense something that they have to think about, something that they've got to react to on the run, and just as importantly, you're giving opposing coordinators, there's Mike there to the right, you're giving opposing coordinators a lot of stuff, Sam, they've got to work on during the week.
3 wide receivers in. Brian Westbrook in the backfield. Carries for only the 3rd time this season, and he's wrapped up. Tyler Brayton got the big arms around him and took him down at the 20-yard line.
The old first-round pick for the Raiders has been a nice player here. You watch Brayton, he's just going to crash inside and hit it right in the mouth. Ran a little stunt with Derek Landry. Landry went to the outside. Tyler Brayton replaced Landry's gap on the inside. Unblocked. Tackle for loss.
Greg Hardy and Everett Brown in at defensive ends for Carolina with 6 defensive backs. It's 3rd and 13 for the 49ers. Crabtree in motion. Everybody out. Blitz is coming. He's hit, and it's incomplete. James Anderson coming from the blind side, got a piece of David Carr. The pass is incomplete. We come to the end of the 3rd quarter with Carolina leading San Francisco 13-10. Hope you're enjoying the NFL on Fox. Sam Rose and Tim Ryan here in Charlotte. Our perfect day has turned a little cloudy. Weather's still, temperatures are fine, but a cloud cover, and Joe Nedney will try and tie this game up. He hit earlier from 24 yards. 49ers ran 7 plays, 6 runs, 1 pass. With Alex Smith out with a shoulder sprain, non-throwing shoulder. This one is from 38. Andy Lee, the holder. Ryan Jennings, the long snapper. Nedney right through, good kick. And the game is tied at 13. 49ers led 7-0, 7-3, 10-3. Game was tied by Carolina. They went ahead here in the 3rd quarter, and now the 49ers have tied it to start the 4th quarter. Great football tonight and great baseball on Fox beginning Wednesday night, game 1 of the World Series. Can you say Cliff Lee and Tim Lincecum? They'll probably be the game 1 starters. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Joe Buck and Tim McCarver call it the World Series on Fox. The 49ers, the Giants hosting the Texas Rangers.
Do me a favor, game 1 at San Fran Wednesday night.
Yeah?
I'll be in the kayak out in the bay.
You will?
Just look for the big dude looking for the long ball.
You taking your radio with you? Will you listen to the game?
Oh, yeah.
All right, okay.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. You see how the schedule breaks down: Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday if necessary in Texas.
Is this the first World Series for Texas? First American League pennant for them, right?
Yes. Great finish for the Rangers.
Happy for Nolan Ryan.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, they played well. They really played well. And the Giants, too. Last year's World Series participants knocked out. Here's Mike Goodson from 1 yard deep. Delaney Walker, has he been special on special teams? That's his 3rd tackle of the game on special teams.
He is a dynamic player. He can return kicks, he can block, he can tackle, he can cover. He did a great job of covering that. That's what you call swelling up on somebody.
He's fast and he's big.
No, he's a good player, and when he's healthy, he really gives their offense a lot of versatility just because of all the different things that he can do. And when he's out there on the field offensively with Vernon Davis, super hard to defend with those 2 tight ends out there.
The great coverage means Carolina starts from their own 11 with Jonathan Stewart, the running back. 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Here's Stewart. Trying to turn the corner. And Taylor Mays with a good close, good speed by the rookie safety out of USC. to take Stewart out of bounds. Couple of yards gained on the play. We'll give him 3 up to the 14.
I'm surprised we haven't seen any type of trickeration yet against this 49er defense with the young safety Taylor Mays. I mean, we went to the Kansas City game week 3. Remember they ran the little wildcat reverse pass. Right. Got those safeties to suck up, hit them over the top. Last week, Oakland ran a flea flicker that was wide open. Surprised we haven't seen any of that trick 'em from Carolina yet.
Steve Smith to the near side. Off the play fake. Moore going short, too high, and almost intercepted. Try to get it to Tony Fiammetta, the fullback. The pass thrown too high, and Shawntae Spencer almost got there. Matt Moore gets up limping on the play.
Yeah, Demetric Evans was on his feet as he was trying to unload the football. Watch 93, Demetric Evans. He'll flash into your screen right there. That should have been a penalty. That should have been a penalty on Demetric Evans. You cannot crawl into a guy like that and have forcible contact from the knee down.
The Tom Brady rule.
Yeah, that is exactly the Tom Brady rule, and missed by Ron Winter.
Here is 3rd and 7. That's Jimmy Clausen, the rookie quarterback who played 3 games. And now getting to observe back on the sideline. Matt Moore calls a timeout. Play clock was winding down.
His knee's hurting him. I'm telling you, his knee is bothering him right now.
You can see there's a little bit of a limp in his giddy up.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Windows 7. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Sam, a lot of talk this week on hits on defenseless players. Well, quarterbacks in the pocket are defenseless, and that is a penalty on Demetric Evans, and John Fox is giving it to Ron Winter, the referee, saying, look, you cannot hit a guy forcibly while you're on the ground. You cannot hit a quarterback from the knee down while he's in the pocket. Valid point.
Moore stays
John
in the
Fox.
game. 3rd and 7. Moore throws, completes it to LaFell. Brandon LaFell's got a first down up at the 29-yard line. The 3rd round pick out of LSU is having his best day as a pro.
And a deep inside comeback route. Here it is. He's matched up on Will Peterson. Now watch, he's going to put the brakes on. Will Peterson turns his hips to run with him. He puts the brakes on, comes back to Will James, puts the turns the hips. LaFell puts the brakes on, comes back to the football. Matt Moore, Sam, is in rhythm on time today.
Steve Smith out of the game. Jonathan Stewart with a couple of yards picked up on the play. Let's check out Cincinnati and Atlanta. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Bengals were down 24-3 at halftime, but they've come back with 23 unanswered points in the 3rd quarter. Adam, don't call me Pac-Man Jones, with a strip and returns it 62 yards for a touchdown. It's now 25-24. Bengals on top. And Tim Ryan, I know you said you're going to the World Series, one big fella to another. Take extra floaties if you're going to be out there.
You're
I'm
right.
going to have my water wings on, Kurt.
Steve Smith back in, out to the left side on 2nd and 7. Moore being rushed. Dumps it off, intercepted. Intercepted by Ray McDonald, and he's in for a touchdown. There was pressure coming on the backside on Matt Moore. He threw it, released it, and the defensive end, Ray McDonald, takes it in for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
First career interception, first career touchdown for Ray McDonald.
And there's Ray, 91. He gets bounced around now. He's playing the screen. He's playing the screen. And Matt Moore throws it right to him. Travis LeBoy with good pressure. And Jonathan Stewart took it up the field, and Ray McDonald was sitting there waiting for it. The big fella with a little shake and bake on the quarterback to prance into the end zone.
Wow, does that change the complexion of the game? The extra point is good. It's the 2nd career touchdown for Ray McDonald. He had one on a fumble recovery return. This one, the first, has had interception return. Matt Moore with the dump off, but he dumped it to the wrong man.
Yeah,
Ray McDonald.
Yards after contact, quarterback couldn't get him down. Look at Greg Manusky.
The defense with its
Oh,
first,
hug anybody. Give me a hug, Sam.
first defensive touchdown of the season for the 49ers. Mike Goodson from the 2. And ran into 2 49ers short of the 20-yard line. Once again, good coverage. That's Ray McDonald, the touchdown maker.
Matt Moore just trying to make a play here, and again, looked like he had a little screen set up to the right. Now he's just trying to make a tackle.
Wow.
Pretty nifty, the big fella.
Hey, he stayed in bounds, waited for the block to get in front of him. Good play by Ray McDonald.
Nice block out in front.
How about the 49ers? 7 takeaways and only 3 points off takeaways coming into the game. 3 takeaways in this game and 13 points.
There's the story.
2 fumble recoveries and an interception for Greg Mineski's defensive unit. Carolina starts from the 18. And the good kickoff coverage has helped keep Carolina in poor field position. Moore takes a hit, got it out to D'Angelo Williams, stays on his feet, and he's pulled out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Good effort by D'Angelo Williams. He picks up 8 on first down.
And Greg Mineski will tell you point blank, we're about taking the football away, and we take it away, the games turn out much better in our behalf. In the 9 wins, they average 7 points, allow 7 points, 28 takeaways, 13 losses. Look at that, 27 points allowed, only 12 takeaways, 3 takeaways today.
2nd and 2, 2 tight ends in for Carolina. Outside of Dante Rosario, one of those tight ends, he's tripped up by the safety, Reggie Smith. But it's a first down for the Panthers at the 33-yard line.
Very athletic Dante Rosario here. You're going to see a jump, boing, right over the top. And then he comes down. You know, he's that guy when you talk about tight ends. It's almost like they don't exist here with the Carolina Panthers. They don't go to him a lot. But today it's been effective. Yeah. Thrown to 4 times, 4 catches. He is their best athlete in terms of their receiving tight ends.
2 tight ends, the 2 wideouts to the left. Jonathan Stewart carrying, no hole. That's a good job up front by the 49ers. Maybe a yard pickup to the 34-yard line for Jonathan Stewart. Demetric Evans made the tackle on Jonathan Stewart.
And I think if you're Carolina, you just keep doing what you're doing. You've been effective enough running the football. It hasn't been great, but it's been somewhat effective. You got to get to the edges for sure out on the perimeter, and the quarterback's been in a nice rhythm in this game.
There's Stewart. Not much there again. Picked up a yard up to the 35-yard line. Nate Clements came up to make the stop.
And really, Matt Moore, he had the bad throw that ended up going back for a touchdown there, the pick 6, which I believe Jonathan Stewart was part of it by just running away from the football. And it was a bad throw to Ray McDonald. No excuses by Matt. But with that exception, and the guy's been in, I think, a very good rhythm today against a good 49er defense.
49ers, 5 defensive backs. Will James is in. Matt Moore pointing out where that linebackers are to his offensive line out of the shotgun. Moore pressured, throwing, and it is broken up. Will James. It hit the ground. Diving effort on the play by David Clowney. Ray McDonald with big-time pressure again on Matt Moore.
And he's the guy that makes this happen. Watch 91 here. He's going to press up inside, and he forces Matt Moore to throw off his back foot. That's what you call a bull rush right there. It took Jeff Schwartz right to his back. Ray McDonald's got a lot of power, but you see there, Matt Moore had to get rid of it before he was ready. Off his back foot, not a lot of velocity on the football.
Jason Baker, high punt. And it's brought back by Ted Ginn. Trying to get outside. He is pulled out of bounds close to the 30-yard line. 49ers have the lead and the ball.
Today's game is sponsored by Burger King. Have it your way.
NFC South teams are all trailing. Atlanta had a big lead on Cincinnati. They're behind. They're 4-2 in the division. Tampa Bay is behind St. Louis 17-12. The Bucks are 3-2. New Orleans is trailing by 10 to Cleveland.
Is this a wacky league or
New
what?
Orleans is 4-2. Carolina at 0-5.
Well, you know, that's the beauty, though, of he's just going over to the NFC West where San Francisco is. They're 0-1 in the division. They're 1-5, and everybody knows it. It's been a brutally disappointing start. There's so much football left, and I don't think that division's going to run away from them.
Though history tells us no team that started 0-5 has made the playoffs. 49ers from the 29-yard line. David Carr, the quarterback. Frank Gore looking for an opening. Dan Connor stayed with him with all the shake and bake moves. Connor didn't go for it, made the tackle for a loss.
Well, Danny Connor's the guy that's going to get the dividend, but watch what Sherrod Martin does to what, remember I called earlier spilling it? Watch him come and hit it with his right shoulder. It's going to spill it to the outside. Spill it over the top. There's Danny Morgan right there to clean it up. That's how you draw it up in the meeting room.
That's only the 9th negative run for Frank Gore this season. Gore stays in. It's a loss of 4, 2nd and 14. Here's Gore, and he's thrown for a loss again. James Anderson came in untouched from outside to make the tackle.
They don't trust David Carr. They do not trust David Carr throwing the football. I know you're up 7 and your defense is playing good, but 2nd and 14?
Well, 2nd and 14 is now turned into 3rd and 18.
I mean, David came out and threw a couple of times. They were off the mark, and it's been pretty much all runs ever since.
If you joined us late, Alex Smith was injured in the 3rd quarter, a sprained left shoulder, done for the game, and David Carr replaced him. Frank Gore gets a few yards up to the 24, close to the 25. And Marcus Hudson made the tackle. David Carr into the lineup.
Yeah, look
Alex
what happened.
Smith suffered the shoulder injury when he was sacked by Charles Johnson.
First pass, underthrown right there on the corner route. And then the next one, another corner route. This one overthrown a little bit. And then Mike Johnson says, you know what, maybe he'll just block, but call some reverses, call some runs, and taking it out of his hands.
Roughness, number 84 offense. Penalized half the distance to the goal, and it makes it 4th down.
So Josh Morgan with a penalty for the 49ers. He was down the field, and he's called for a personal foul.
Here it is here.
Got the hands up to the face mask and helmet of Chris Gamble. Steve Smith is back in to return this punt for Carolina.
Return set up. You double press the corners or the gunners.
Andy Lee
Help you with your return.
low kick. Bounces, rolls to Smith at the 40. Here's a return. At the 49ers 41, there's a flag on the play as he was hit and knocked out of bounds. We'll check out the flag. Trevor Mays took Steve Smith out of bounds. Smith with another good return. He's looked good on punt return. 17-yard return is Ron Winter.
Return. Holding. Number 33 of the return team. A 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
That's Mike Goodson. And he's questioning the call, but that negates a good run back. 8:24 to go. Carolina will start from their own 44-yard line. Fox Tuesday, are you ready to get spooked? Because there's no more terrifying, nothing more electrifying than when Glee rocks Rocky Horror. That's new Tuesday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Oh, all right.
Good show. It's Halloween time. Here come the Panthers with D'Angelo Williams, the running back. Steve Smith and David Geddes, the wideouts, 2 tight ends. Off the play fake. Moore throws it into the ground. Big time pressure. It started with Paris Harrelson and then followed up by Ricky Jean-Francois and Justin Smith.
Pretty good mobility there for Matt Moore, who got his knee whacked pretty good earlier from Demetric Evans. He just spun right out over the top. Paris Harrelson had a great opportunity, Sam, unblocked, and you always go for the upfield shoulder when you're that outside rusher, and He took it down to the inside shoulder, and Matt Moore just spun out the backside.
Matt Moore, 18.
And Paris knows it. You get that opportunity, you got to finish.
18 for 29, 177 yards for Matt Moore. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Moore looking downfield, throwing deep. He's got David Geddes, and he's out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Got spotted at the 17, and there's a flag on the play all the way back. It's going to be on San Francisco, though.
Legal hands to the face, I think.
Legal use of hands to the face. Defense number 98. That penalties decline. Play results in a first down.
Paris Harrelson on the penalty call. It's declined. It's a 39-yard pass from Moore to Geddes.
And here's the penalty. Here's Jeff King right here. Hands to the face from Paris Harrelson. There it is. They call that. And then the route, just a nice corner route. Nate Clements, it's a smash route principle. So you smash a route up in front of Nate Clements, see if he bites on it, and then you run the corner route right behind him. And Nate bit on it, was unable to recover on the big one to David Geddes.
Big day for Geddes. 6 catches, 98 yards. Here's D'Angelo Williams inside the 15 and spinning down to the 12. Let's check out Atlanta and Cincinnati. Here's Kurt Menefee with the update.
Falcons blew a 24-3 halftime lead, but they've come back to retake it. Matt Ryan took it up with Roddy White for the touchdown. White, 9 catches, 186 yards, and 2 scores. Falcons back up 32-25 early in the fourth quarter. Sam and 10.
Thanks, Kurt. That Roddy White is a special receiver.
Awesome.
Great game for him. The ball at the 12. LaFell has replaced Geddes for Carolina. Rosario motions on second down. D'Angelo Williams, not much there. Good job plugging the holes by the 49ers, stopping him at the 11. Isaac Sopoaga with the stop. So here comes a big third down play for Carolina. Greg Minuski sending in the signal for the defense. Carolina 5 for 10 on third down conversions. Mike Goodson is in at running back. 3 wide receivers. LaFell, Geddes, and Smith.
There's your matchup.
Here they come. Moore dumps it off on the screen. Goodson is tackled for a loss. Great defensive play by the 49ers, led by Patrick Willis.
Well, here's Patrick. Bang. He's just going to sniff it out and go get it. Again, man coverage on Mike Goodson, and that's just too easy. And when you see that thing developing in your man coverage as an inside linebacker, just get past the level of the lineman, and you're going to get yourself either a tackle for loss or they will not be able to complete it.
Neither team has been able to work the screen pass well. The Carolina going for it on fourth down. They have to get to the 7-yard line for a first down. Everybody out. Moore throws. Geddes dropped it. He dropped a touchdown pass.
You could not throw that any better if you're Matt Moore. What a great job by Matt, stepping up in the pocket. Pass rush comes behind him, shoots it in, perfect throw. Geddes can't hold on.
49ers start from the 16 with a 7-point lead. David Carr is 1 for 4 since entering the game. Short drop, and he's tackled, sacked. Derek Landry, the tackle, in on the play for the sack. Good job by Landry, who's become a starter here in Carolina.
They jump into the old double eagle right there, which forces the protection to squeeze down, to turn down inside, and Derek Landry just penetrates. And because David Carr took the snap from under center, because of that double eagle or bear defense, there was no way Anthony Davis was going to be able to block him before he got there.
Back to the 11-yard line, 2nd and 15. It's Gore cutting it back. Good hole. And he gets up to the 20-yard line. They'll spot it at the 19.
Here's the missed touchdown for David Geddes, and he does everything right. Knows it's going to be a generic zone coverage, sticks it out outside, comes back inside, fakes out everybody, doesn't finish and make the catch. I mean, he did at least 3 things right there. Diagnoses the coverage, runs the route, sells it, sticks it, gets himself wide open, and can't do the final thing, which is catch a touchdown pass and possibly tie this game up.
Carolina calls a timeout. They have 1 timeout remaining. It's a 3rd and long situation, 3rd and 7 for San Francisco. John Fox wants the ball back with some time to maneuver. Frank Gore is at an even 100 yards. His 3rd 100-yard game of the season, a franchise record 23rd in his career. And as usual, he has caught a couple of passes as well. 3 catches for 38. Here's 3rd and 7. Carr with time, he throws, and Ginn slipped and fell. He was well covered by Captain Munnerlyn, but as he tried to stop, the feet went out from under him and he went to the ground.
Good coverage by Munnerlyn there. It looked like David Carr was clearly throwing that back shoulder fade route. So basically trying to throw Ted Ginn open. As soon as Ted sees it, tries to decelerate to get back to the football. He falls down.
7th punt of the game for Andy Lee. Steve Smith at his own 30-yard line. Just got it away. Barnidge, Gary Barnidge, the tight end, came close to blocking it. Smith is well covered. He's dragged down by Manny Lawson. Boy, the 49ers have had some excellent coverage throughout the game. Now all the way back at the 13, there's a flag on the play. Could be a holding call.
Holding. Right tackle kicking team. That 10-yard penalty. He assessed half the distance to the goal.
Oh,
re-kick.
Anthony Davis.
Look how close they come to blocking this.
It's Gary Barnidge, number 82, just missed.
And really good coverage. I think Steve Smith's going, oh, 99, this guy can't run. I'll just outrun 99. The big fella, no. Manny Lawson turns that 4.5 40 on him and closes the gap in a hurry.
But now the 49ers have to kick it again. 9 penalties in the game for San Francisco.
Look at John Fox. Is he competing or what?
Yep.
What did he tell us on Friday? He said, this is great. I mean, I'm coaching. I'm working hard. He goes, I got to tell you guys, though, it's only fun when you win.
Set to punt again. You see where Andy Lee is in the end zone. No pressure. Good kick. Steve Smith backpedals to the 31 with some room. And again, it's well covered. This time Ahmad Brooks takes him down after a short return. Good coverage by the 49ers.
Yeah, and that's an area where they've struggled this year. Losing Michael Robinson, Marcus Hudson, other guys, and today they've lit it up with the coverage units.
59-yard punt by Andy Lee out of his end zone. How about that? A big clutch punt and 5-yard return with the tackle by Ahmad Brooks. Kurt Schottenheimer, the special teams coordinator for the 49ers, has to be happy with a lot of the good plays by his units. Carolina starts from the 37. Jonathan Stewart in the backfield with Matt Moore. 3 wide receivers, everybody out. Outside, complete to LaFell. Brandon LaFell with a catch at the 46-yard line. Pickup of 9 on the play. Clock running. Panthers have 1 timeout remaining. LaFell has had 4 catches in the game. He came into the game with 5 in the first 5 games. Moore throws. Geddes with the catch for a first down at midfield. Matt Moore with a couple of completions. 22 for 34, 224 yards.
And still plenty of time left. If the 49ers want to play that shell coverage and play offense soft, Matt Moore is just going to keep throwing it underneath.
3 wide receivers. Dante Rosario, the tight end. Moore gets time and completes to LaFell. Just short of the 40-yard line. Half a yard short of the first down. And the rookie receivers, outside of that drop, a huge drop by David Geddes in the end zone, but the rookie receivers, for the most part, have been outstanding.
Yeah, by far their best output offensively of the season.
Everybody out again. Moore with time, passes blocked, and falls incomplete. Good job up front. 3rd and 1. Might have been, let's see.
Looks like Ray McDonald is the one that gets the block, and he's always good at getting his hands up. Look at what he does. And it's so smart as a defensive lineman. It was Travis LeBoy that got it. But you watch these defensive linemen, and they're so clever and they're so well coached that if they're not getting great rush, as soon as that non-throwing hand comes off the ball by the quarterback, they stop, get their hands up, make them throw through the fence.
Same thing, 3 wide receivers. Dante Rosario, the tight end, they throw a flag. False start against Carolina. 3rd and 1 becomes 3rd and 6.
False start. Offense number 65.
Look at Josh.
5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
And that's on Gary Williams, making his first NFL start at right tackle today. And he's held up fairly well.
I think he's played really well.
Carolina's still hoping that Big Jeff Otah will make it back this season.
It's unbelievable how long that knee scope has taken him to come back from.
Geddes and Smith to the bottom of your screen. 3rd and 6. Moore pressured, throws, completes to Dante Rosario. First down at the 49ers 36-yard line.
This is the Matt Moore that finished last season 4-1 is a pretty darn good quarterback for Carolina. Just does a great job there, stepping up in the pocket, buying himself some time, diagnose the man coverage. Bowman on Dante Rosario and threw a perfect pass.
D'Angelo Williams in the game at running back. They go with 3 wide receivers: Smith, LaFell, and Geddes. Rosario stays in the game, split out wide left. Moore throwing for Rosario. There's a flag on the play in the 49ers secondary. The pass overthrown, and we check out the flag.
I see Navarro Bowman holding his hands up. It was thrown by the back judge. Let's see what happens here.
Illegal contact. Defense number 53. 5-yard penalty and a first down.
You're as good as it gets when it costs picking him up.
I just looked down on the field and I saw Navarro Bowman standing there. Here's Bowman. Usually when it's on the tight end, there's the illegal contact. It's the back judge that's going to call it because that's his responsibility on the play. He's looking at the tight end.
10th penalty of the game for San Francisco. First down at the 31-yard line. Everybody out. Moore dumps it off. D'Angelo Williams. And Navarro Bowman made the tackle. Good play. Williams gets down to the 27-yard line. Hurry up offense. No huddle.
1 timeout left. You see the light lit up there to the right of the 13.
Moore gets rid of it to Williams.
No, you got to get out.
Bowman was there, slowed him down. Williams fighting and is brought down at the 23-yard line. He is 2 yards short of a first down.
Actually clever by him. Knowing he had the 2-minute warning, clock's going to stop anyway. Get what you can up inside.
Just under 2 minutes remaining. Mike Singletary and the 49ers trying to hold on to their 7-point lead. Make it 2 wins in a row and a good start to this trip towards London. John Fox's team coming out of the bye, looking for their first win of the season. Down by 7. It's 3rd and 2 for Carolina. Moore has time. Throwing for the end zone. Touchdown! David Geddes, who dropped a pass in the end zone, The last time down, holds on.
Shante Spencer never turned his head and saw it coming. I can't tell you how impressed I am with David Geddes as a route runner. Redemption coming back from that drop touchdown. He just went right by Shante Spencer and never showed his eyes.
John Casey ties it up for the extra point. David Geddes, 8 catches, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
And another nice little stick route. Look how late before he showed his hands. I mean, that is a veteran move right there. Never sticks his hands out, which really is never cue Shante Spencer to turn back and look at the football. He never turned to locate it. And again, another perfect throw from Matt Moore. I think they've refound their quarterback here in Carolina.
Yeah, the bye week was good for Matt Moore. He studied tapes of his own game from last year when he was playing well, and he found out certain things. David Geddes has been impressive. Wow, they've found themselves quite a young receiver. Matt Moore, 27 for 40, 274 yards. Shante Spencer was beaten on the last play. Take a look at this again, Tim.
Yeah, and he stuck him inside, that being Shante Spencer. Geddes did, and then look at that throw. He's sticking it inside, bought him a little bit of a gap of separation, just enough to where Matt Moore was able to squeeze it in there.
Remember this, 49ers have all their timeouts remaining, and they have a strong kicker in Joe Nedney. The game is tied. There's plenty of time on the clock. Ted Ginn is back deep for this kick by Reese Lloyd. It's a good one. Ginn will not return it. 9 yards deep in the end zone. 4 touchbacks for Reese Lloyd on his kickoffs today.
Here's the rookie mistake early. Watch this little stick route. Bang, I'm wide open. Touchdown. Oh, no. Now redemption can be a beautiful thing. Next drive, right down the sideline. Did all the things right, and then the main thing he did right was he finished. Thrown to, targeted 11 times in this football game today. 8 catches, $125.
49ers start from the 20-yard line. With all 3 of their timeouts, Frank Gore in the backfield. Ted Ginn is a 3rd wide receiver with Josh Morgan and Michael Crabtree. Vernon Davis splits off to the right side. David Carr going outside to Josh Morgan, slips a tackle and goes up the sideline. Is out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Good play by Josh Morgan. 22-yard pickup, and that's a big one. First catch of the game for Josh Morgan. David Carr, if you joined us late, replacing the injured Alex Smith, who hurt his left shoulder when he was sacked by Charles Johnson.
3 timeouts left. You see him right there for San Francisco.
3 wide receivers. The handoff to Gore. Gets a yard on the play. James Anderson with a tackle. No huddle for the 49ers.
Yeah, no huddle taking too long. And I know you got the 3 timeouts left, but
Carr talking to Gore, talking to Davis, sets his team. Movement on the left side. Joe Staley moved too soon.
False start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty.
That is self-destruction. You waste 26 seconds in a no-huddle look, and then you finish it with a false start.
Well, that's 11 penalties for San Francisco, tying their season high or season low.
Right.
Ball back to the 38-yard line. Low snap. Carr handles it. Throws, and it's intercepted. intercepted by Richard Marshall. And the Panthers have the ball with 1:08 to go.
That's not a good throw by David Carr. They had double coverage on the seam route. Watch this. Here it is. It's going to come out here. You're in a trail position. If you're Richard Marshall, you're playing from a trail. You know you got help over the top, and that wasn't even close. Man under too deep. We're going to man the guys underneath. Safety's behind us. We can play from a trail position, trail the receiver. Bad throw by David Carr. Outstanding interception by Richard Marshall.
Panthers at their own 43 with 1 timeout remaining and the game tied. Moore being rushed. Throws it deep for LaFell. He caught it. Steps out of bounds at the 22-yard line. "35-yard gain. 1:02 remaining." Great throw by Moore. Great catch by the rookie LaFell. And a big blitz pickup by D'Angelo Williams.
Outstanding, because Patrick Willis was coming and he had bad intentions. Taylor Mays never saw the ball. Never located the football.
D'Angelo Williams bounces off the pile. Justin Smith takes him down at the 22.
You got 1 timeout here, and it looks like, and I just saw John Fox yelling at Matt Moore, they want to keep it over on the right hash for the left-footed kicker, John Casey.
D'Angelo Williams is on the ground with a left leg or left foot injury. The timeout used by San Francisco. What a turnaround. The interception by Richard Marshall was Carolina's 10th of the season. And Marshall's first of the season.
Here's the LaFell catch down the sideline. Brandon LaFell corner blitz, which means the safety's got to get over the top. And he never turns to locate the football. You could see the whole way that Brandon LaFell had his head turned. He was going to do it. That's got to be a cue to the DB. And the defensive back, the safety, Taylor Mays, never queued it up and turned and found the ball.
The Panthers are certainly well within the range of John Casey. He hit a 55-yarder early in the game. Right now, from this point, it would be a 40-yard attempt.
You remember at the start of the game when San Francisco went right down and scored 7 points, and it was elation. Everybody was fired up and excitement down on the sideline, and I said, you know what, we've seen that this year. They score right away and then not able to adjust and make a lot of plays. They've scored 6 points since, 2 field goals.
And here's a big factor, I think, Tim. The Panthers have had the ball nearly 36 minutes in this game. And for San Francisco, 23 minutes, 15 seconds. That is lopsided time of possession.
Well, here's what it translates to. 74 plays to 50. That's what happens.
In this second half, the 49ers have gone 3 and out 4 times. We welcome those of you who have been watching Washington and Chicago. Here in Carolina, Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan. Under a minute to go in regulation time. This game tied at 20 has gone back and forth. Carolina looking for their first win of the season. San Francisco at 1-5. And their next game will be in London next week. They had the lead 20-13. But the Panthers came back, tied the game, and then an interception of a pass thrown by David Carr, who's in for the injured Alex Smith, has given Carolina the chance to win this game.
And Matt Moore has been fabulous. He had the one bad throw.
Inadvertently to acknowledge a request from San Francisco. There is no charge timeout. Please reset the game clock to 53 seconds.
Ron Winter, the referee.
Redemption for Matt Moore, who threw the interception to Ray McDonald. He took it in for a touchdown, and since then, Matt Moore has been lights out with his accuracy.
The last timeout was called by Carolina. They are out of timeouts. San Francisco has all of theirs. Jonathan Stewart at running back. Across the 20 as they look to set up a game-winning field goal for John Casey. The 49ers call timeout. If you're just joining us, here's the interception by Richard Marshall on the pass intended for Michael Crabtree. And then a long pass to the rookie, Brandon LaFell, from Matt Moore. Sets up the Panthers in field goal position. LaFell has had 6 catches. The other rookie wide receiver for Carolina, David Geddes, has had 8 catches in the game.
I got so much respect for John Fox, the head coach here. Ofer coming in bye week, and talking to him the other day, he says, I promise you we're better offensively than we've showed. And on top of that, he was serious. He goes, Tim, I'm getting this straightened out. I have never been worse than 7-9 as a coach. It's not happening this year.
And Matt Moore has passed for a career high 309 yards. 3rd and 8. In on the line goes Stewart, holding on to the football. He's down to the 19. And the 49ers use another timeout. And here comes John Casey. He has kicked a 55-yard field goal in this game. And he has 12 career game-winning field goals.
Let's keep our eyes on Ray McDonald. He is by far the best guy up front for San Francisco at blocking kicks.
Right. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Casey, his last regular season game-winning field goal, December 28th of 2008, with 1 second remaining at New Orleans.
Let's see if Singletary tries to ice him with the 1 timeout left.
Baker the holder, the long snapper J.J. Jansen. The kick is on the way, and it is good. And with 39 seconds remaining, the Carolina Panthers lead it 23-20. Panthers coming off the bye week, looking for their first win of the season. And John Casey hoping that he supplied the winning points. Earlier, it was San Francisco with 13 points off takeaways that got them the lead. But here, the head coach smiles. His kicker has come through for him, 3 for 3 in the game. Now Mike Singletary's team has all their timeouts remaining. There is the injured quarterback, Alex Smith.
Story of this game. When he went down, it was over in the passing game when Alex Smith went down.
And my apologies, they used 2 timeouts on that Carolina possession. The 49ers have 1 timeout remaining. Reese Lloyd's kickoffs have been long. He has 4 touchbacks in the game. Ted Ginn is deep. Here's another long one into the end zone. Ted Ginn brings it out from 5 yards deep. And he slips and goes down short of the 20-yard line. Right there was Nick Harris to force Ginn down. 35 seconds. 1 timeout remaining for the 49ers. For the game, 380 total yards for Carolina. We welcome those of you who watched the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come back to beat St. Louis 18-17. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan here in Charlotte. 49ers trailing by 3 from their 17. Low snap, Carr handles it. Throwing short to Vernon Davis. He fights his way across the 20-yard line. Not much on that gain. Pickup of 3. Tyler Brayton wrapped him up. No huddle. And the ball is spiked by Carr to stop the clock with 18 seconds.
Yeah, it's over now in terms of you got to get it to the sideline. And nothing in the middle of the field unless you're going to do the hook and ladder. Otherwise, there's just not enough time.
Carr doesn't have the big arm. He's got to find a way to hit one of his receivers who can take it after the catch.
Yeah, they got to get
field goal territory.
Down the field, down the sideline, so you can get out of bounds. Or if anything in the middle of the field, it's got to be some hook and ladder principles. You better have some trailers that they can pitch it to.
6 defensive backs for Carolina. Empty backfield as everybody is split out. 3-man rush. Carr steps up, throws, and completes to Vernon Davis at the 38-yard line. It's a first down. And I believe, yes, the 49ers used their last timeout. 12 seconds remaining. The 49ers, who won at home against Oakland last week, trying to make it 2 in a row, starting out on a trip that will take them from here to London tomorrow. It will not be a happy trip if they can't come back.
Well, think about Alex Smith. I mean, if they end up losing this by 3, that's going to be a major headache. Think of Alex Smith and what they do with him. They don't have an MRI machine here at the stadium. Alex clearly took a tough shot on that left shoulder.
Joe Nedney waiting.
There's his career-long 56 yards in 2005. They got to get right to that blue line.
We got a long way to go
for him to have the opportunity.
3 wide receivers. Vernon Davis. Gore goes out. Carr throws sideline. It's dropped by Josh Morgan. Covered by Chris Gamble. 8 seconds remaining. And now it's down to miracle time for the 49ers.
Well, actually, they're lucky that one was incomplete because the defenders were protecting the sidelines. If Josh Morgan would have caught this game's over.
This is a second down play. Delaney Walker is in the game. Second tight end, but a speedy tight end. Hoping to create a mismatch. Carr steps up, throws, and it's knocked down by Chris Gamble. Almost intercepted. 3 seconds remaining. Chris Gamble has 24 career interceptions, 1 short of the franchise record held by Eric Davis.
Yeah, the old 49er.
That's right. He just missed pulling that one in one-handed. Well, now, unless there's a penalty,
well, and that's what you don't want to happen if you're John Fox and the Carolina Panthers. There's a pass interference down towards the goal line on the defense.
3 defenders are back by the 20-yard line. Carr throws short. Gore is brought down. The Carolina Panthers win their first of the season. There's a flag down.
Tyler Brayton never got off the field. I think they had 12 on the field defensively for the Carolina Panthers.
Well, if they did, this game's not over.
Formation. Offense.
No.
Had 6 men on the line of scrimmage.
And that's it. This game is over. The Carolina Panthers come from behind. Mike Singletary wants an explanation. Now the officials are huddling up. Everybody's out on the field.
And you can review now, and it'll go up to the booth, obviously, here at the end of the game. Was there 12 guys on the field for the Carolina Panthers? I think that's what Mike Singletary's talking about.
Well, you said offense.
1, 2, 3. I know.
Okay.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But look, here's Brayton. There's the guy. And they called only 6 men on the line of scrimmage for San Francisco.
Right.
You got to have 7. That's an illegal formation. Well, looked like Brayton, though, was the 12th guy on the field for Carolina.
Ron Winter's going to go under the hood and check it out. John Fox, in what most people feel will be his final season here in Carolina. An outstanding coach who's taken his team to the Super Bowl. As you said, he's never been worse than 7-9 in a season. And he's had a positive attitude with his players. He said we need to get better as a team, and he will work to make this team better. And they certainly had a better performance today.
He's got tremendous respect around the National Football League, and if it's not here next year, he'll have a job in 5 minutes.
Count them up, Tim.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is he the 11th? Let's do it one more time. 3 on the line. Boom. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. I think he's only the 11th guy.
Well,
why is he running off, Sam? 3 on the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 and 3. That's 11.
Well, maybe somebody counted wrong on the field amongst the Panthers.
Counting's wrong. This game's over.
Well, the clock reads no time remaining. If the ruling goes in favor of the Panthers, they will have their first win of the season. And they'll continue to show that they're strong coming out of the bye. They were 4-1 over the last 5 seasons coming out of the bye week. Carolina will be at St. Louis next week. And next week, San Francisco will play in London against the Denver Broncos. Ron Winter in touch with the people upstairs. The discussion continues. Mike Pereira is back in our studios in Los Angeles. Mike, what do you see?
Well, I think you're at the 11th guy running off the field, like Tim said. So that means that's not a foul, and it is reviewable. That's why they're looking at it. Ultimately, then you'll end up with only the illegal formation foul, and that's a foul by the offense on the last play. Game over.
The defense had 11 players on the field at the snap. The offense had an illegal formation. Illegal formation offense. Therefore, the game is over.
Thanks, Mike. As usual, right on target with your explanation. For Mike Singletary, huge frustration. A winnable game. He lost his quarterback. He lost the game. Matt Moore, a career game for him, brings his team back, and Carolina has its first win as they defeat San Francisco 23-20. We'll be back in Charlotte in just a moment.